This is going to be an episode that y'all need to relax. Schmack a magal. I am Dr. Fuck, and with me is,
Oh yeah, the Ayatollah alcoholic, the co-host. Holy shit, this thing's foaming up.
by the
The
way,
co-host of the biggest Kiss podcast in the world,
the podcast, the American Podcast Kings.
and the biggest Kiss podcast in the world, the Rock and Metal Combat podcast. I am Wadzilla. What's up, Dr. Fuck? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
All right, well, fuck it. Let's get in the news. What do we got here? Let's see what's going on. Let me do a refresh if there's any new stories. No, nothing new. Nothing new. Ex Skid Row singer, the guy you really like, that Eric Grungwald or whatever. Yeah, he's playing again. He's been doing a lot lately. I know he took a break from Michael Schenker because his dad got sick or some bullshit. But man, it seems like he's playing a lot. Just not with Skid Row. You think he just got sick of Skid Row, or he just didn't want to travel to the States, with his illness? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I mean, Skid Row is a band that tours a lot. So it's more than what he's doing now. He does little short sprints here and there. So
Right.
I think a band like Skid Row, you got to put in 100% of your life. Where what he's doing now, playing, he did a little European tour with Michael Schenker, but now he played with Heat, like a one-off thing.
Yeah.
I can't see,
I'm thinking like playing bowling alleys in fucking Ohio was probably bad for his cancer. That's what it was.
Ohio,
That's what it was.
Ohio's not a big market.
Yeah, well, it is for Skid Row. It's probably their biggest market. They can play Cleveland and Cincinnati. It's probably their biggest market.
I hate to be the Debbie Downer, man, but Skid Row, when they come here, they play bigger venues than Sebastian does. And
Oh,
they're I wouldn't say sold out, but they're packed. Twice. Look, the first time I saw Skid Row with this Eric Gromwald guy,
uh-huh.
was an amphitheater, and the
Really?
amphitheater was packed. Now it was a package tour; they were headlining. Then it was Warrant and Quiet Riot, but it brought in a lot of people, man. And then they played the Revolution, which is, it's a 2-story, like kind of mini theater bar slash thing. They do well. They do well on the road.
That's a unique package. They're playing with Warrant and Quiet Riot, two bands that are better than Skid Row. And boy, that's how often do they get to say that? We're touring with a band we're better than.
Do you really think Warrant is better than Skid Row?
Without Sebastian.
Wow.
I would take Warrant with what's the guy's name? Robert Mason. I would take Warrant with Robert Mason over fucking Skid Row without Sebastian Bach. But I gotta think here. I'm trying to do the math and carry the two and all this shit. Who was singing for Skid Row? I mean, Quiet Riot at the time.
Jizzy Pearl.
Okay, it's a draw. it's a everybody's dead fucking tour. But fucking pathetic. But yeah, no. I mean, I guess. Well, it's a hard one to say. All of these bands, I don't give a shit about anything they've done without their original singers. Although I will say I saw Warrant with Robert Mason. It was a good live show, but I haven't listened to what they did. They recorded, I think they did a studio album with Robert Mason, but I never fucking listened to that shit.
I thought they sucked when I saw them.
Yeah.
They were fucking terrible.
But I mean, I mean, granted though, you don't like Warrant in any formation other than Uncle Tom's Cabin, right? That's the only song you like.
There's a song on the next album. Somebody asked me to do a track by track. There's a song on the next album that is fucking maybe it's fast, furious, and killer. Think that
Machine Gun?
no, but it's on that album. It's later in
Hmm.
probably the second to last track. It's a real fast, kick-ass song. I was like, fuck, doesn't sound like
Yeah.
Warren was able to do that. But then again, you know, Warren's albums didn't feature those guitar players that are in
Yeah.
now, you know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not that familiar with Dog Eat Dog. I know Machine Gun and Bitter Pill, and I
Yeah,
love both those tracks.
I didn't like it. I didn't like any of those tracks, but then there's a song toward the end. Fucking great. It's fast.
I
Badass.
have to check it out. All right, what else we got? Oh man, this is a rough one. Tame Me Down, from Faster Pussycat. Says first concert after fiance's death was very emotional. And I watched, some of the footage from that, and you could tell he was emotional, but he didn't go overboard. You know,
I think he was very emotional because now he finally doesn't have to sneak around with groupies.
I said he was emotional, but he didn't go overboard.
Oh. If you didn't just say that, I'd get it next Sunday.
It's a joke grenade. It's gonna go off in about 5 seconds,
That was a good
and
one.
you're gonna laugh. Um, oh shit! You know what's funny is I saw you did a video about the whole situation. And man, I love your videos, but sometimes I just gotta laugh. Like I see like the title of it, and it was a title like, yeah, Tammy Down's girlfriend falls overboard. I'm like, he hates Faster Pussycat. Why is he even talking about this shit?
They got, they, they got major hits though. Those got a lot of views.
It helps the YouTube algorithm.
On YouTube, there's this little feature where it shows you your top 10 videos and stuff.
Right.
So Pussycat was like top 10 for like maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah. Unlike typical shit, like, I might get some shit like, oh, I made a joke about, Tammy Down's girlfriend, and I said he didn't go overboard. But you know what? When you do a show with Dr. Fuck, man, it's sink or swim. I did it again. She's dead. She drowned. He threw her overboard, but they doctored the cameras. What are you going to do?
Yeah,
What are you going to do?
I get these comments, and I know you'll probably agree with these people, but I just find it so stupid when people left comments going, somebody that does that to their lips has a lot of emotional problems. I'm like, you don't know the bitch. Shut up.
You know what's funny though? I kind of agree with that.
Something else I noticed this the other day. People that are pissed, just angry people, they fucking love you. I mean, they fucking love you. They're just, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with their lives, but you can tell. You can tell they're really angry with the planet and fucking everything sucks. Fuck this life, and Ian is my hero. I've noticed that.
Those poor listeners. Hero of the stupid. That's me.
It's bizarre, Oh yeah, I'm with Ian, man. Fuck the world. Fuck. Push the button. Ian rules. Let's all die. Fuck this life.
All right, I'll be right back. try to think of any other stories you might want to talk about. I got to pee. Be right back.
Um, and I don't know what to say. Let's see. Okay, let's talk about my day. Um, Today. Oh, I don't want to talk about today. It was kind of well. One good thing was I got a donation from somebody that wanted me to review Halloween 1 versus Halloween 2. And I'm like, oh shit, I don't know where that movie is because I got boxes and boxes of DVDs. So I said, fuck it, let me attempt to find it, right? And I found the box with all the DVD box sets. I was like, ooh, I got that Halloween DVD box set. Man, I found that box set in like less than 3 minutes when I started looking for. So I watched it. I watched 1 and 2. I didn't finish 2. I'm going to finish it later. But you know, Halloween, I'm going to do an episode on it, so I'm not going to repeat what I'm going to say. But Halloween was a movie I saw in the theater in 1978 that was amazing. And then later on, it was like, yeah, it's complicated. Watching it today, it's amazing. That's how I feel.
What's that?
The first Halloween movie.
Oh, love that. Love that shit.
Yeah. I was talking about somebody donated for me to put Halloween 1 versus Halloween 2.
Yeah.
I was watching Halloween 1 today. It was fucking amazing. I was watching Halloween 2. It's not the same, man. It doesn't have that dark undertone that the first one had.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I like it, but I mean it doesn't compete. But yeah, Halloween's a fucked up franchise, man. There's some I like. Like my favorite sequel is Halloween 3.
Yeah, that would be mine as well.
I fucking love that shit, man. But like a lot of like, the Halloween fans, they love Halloween 4. And I think Halloween 4 sucks fucking ass. You know? And and I remember seeing that in the fucking theater and I was like fucking well, when that shit came out, I was like 14 or some shit. And I knew then, at that age, I knew like this isn't good. It's like they're making Michael Myers like Jason Voorhees, like he's a fucking zombie who can stick his thumb through people's fucking skulls and shit. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'd rather watch kids get killed in fucking Halloween masks like Halloween 3. Fucking shit. Whatever.
And all 3 Terrifiers is fucking awesome. Art the Clown is something else. To me, dude, Art the Clown is the only one I can think of. Maybe you'll bring up one that he's made 3 movies in a row that all 3 of them are equally fucking thick. Where every other one, the Freddy movies, Jason, Michael Myers, as years go by, as that movies go by, they become a little, Freddy Krueger became a cartoon character.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people like people try to defend Nightmare on Elm Street 4, and that was another one came out, I think probably the same year, or right around fucking Halloween 4. And to me, Nightmare on Elm Street 4 is where Freddy got too funny, and then he wasn't scary anymore. It was just like one-liners, like he was fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger and shit. I thought Nightmare on Elm Street 3 was like the perfect mix of still scary Freddy, but, the funny kind of welcome to prime time, bitch, kind of shit, So it was a good mix. And then after that, it was all fucking downhill,
I loved Dream Warrior 3. I loved it.
Yeah.
But I still think it's nowhere near as good as the first one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it didn't scare me like the first one. The first one was really like, I would say the last movie overall that kind of scared me. But I was going to horror movies. Like I was talking to my wife yesterday. We were watching, I just bought Piranha, the original Piranha from 1978.
On in the
and, on 4K. And that was the first movie I saw at the drive-in. It was a double feature of Piranha and Meatballs with Bill Murray. You know, that's the first thing I saw at the fucking drive-in. Uh, you know, and I don't know where the fuck I'm going with this. I'm buzzed. But no, I have no fucking idea. What were we talking about before that?
Halloween.
Yeah. Halloween sucks. Well, I mean, like the sequels.
And Evil Dead, man. Only the first two. All the other ones, I don't care.
I like Army of Darkness. No, I take that back. I like all the fucking Evil Deads. I really love that remake that you don't like.
Yeah, I hate it.
Oh, I liked it. What'd you think of Evil Dead Rise? Did you see that one?
Yeah, and I saw it in the theater. You know what? It's my favorite of after number two.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. But I liked the remake better.
I loved Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Oh, that was a great series, man. Great series.
I bought them on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, no, that's some good shit. God damn it, I was gonna say something. I totally forgot what it was. No idea. No idea. All right, well, fuck it. We'll go to the next story. Let's see. What else we got here? Ghost. Nobody gives a shit about Ghost. That new one sucks. Oh my God. We were talking about fucking Sebastian Bach and Skid Row earlier. Did you see the new video with Peter Loren from fucking Trickster giving him shit?
Yeah, that made me laugh.
I mean, how about that dude's hair? He looks like fucking he looks like a gay fucking what's the bitch from Friends? I don't know. I've never seen one episode of that fucking show. The one that was married to Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston. That's what he looks like. A gay gray Jennifer Aniston. And he's giving Sebastian Bach shit. And like, bitch, you shouldn't even talk about a motherfucking thing. You were in Trickster.
Yeah, but
dude,
dude.
When Trickster came out, dude, this is how bad Trickster was. I was listening to a lot of horrible fucking shit around the time Trickster came out. And I was like, this is fucking horrible. This is fucking bubblegum fucking crap. And unfortunately, I had the displeasure of seeing Trickster live. They opened up for Kiss on the Revenge Tour. That's how bad Kiss was off on that Revenge Tour. And I'm glad, Ralph, you were there. Or no, you didn't see the Revenge Tour, right?
Did not.
Okay, so I saw it, and we both saw the Hot in the Shade, and we need to talk about this because we are the world's biggest Kiss podcast.
Right.
There's none bigger than us. So you know, Hot in the Shade tour was very successful, but a lot of it was due to the opening band. Slaughter opened up the whole tour, and then you had Faster Pussycat or Winger. Depending on what part of the tour you saw. I saw that tour twice with all those bands. But anyway, Trickster was fucking horrible. And so on the Revenge Tour, it was Trickster on their second album that nobody bought. And then it was Great White on the Psycho Motel Tour. Another album nobody bought. But it's like, fucking Trickster. This guy should keep your fucking mouth shut. The only person who should be allowed to talk from Trickster is Steve Brown because he's wrote like 90% of Kiss's music. You know, but the rest of the band, shut the fuck up. Peter Loren.
I disagree 100%. I'm like, dude, the guy was the singer of Trickster. Have a little mercy.
I don't feel sorry for him one bit. He deserves every bad thing that happens to him in life. And again, me and all my life-hating fans will agree. You know?
I was about to bring that up. I don't think it's cool because Pete Loren is, you know, he was in Trickster. I mean, Jesus, that's like saying you had leprosy. But since you don't care, angry drunk people out there love that, Ian.
Yeah. fuck Trickster. Fuck him up their ass. Fuck Peter Laurent. You know, he ain't a pimple on Sebastian Bach's ass.
I don't know
And,
about you. I don't know about you, Ian. But if I was to go see Kiss on the Revenge tour and Trickster was opening, I'd be outside drinking Jack Daniels. I I would not go in. Look, I didn't see Slaughter or Winger when they opened for Kiss. Now I like
right,
Winger. I didn't see them then. Uh,
right.
million bands. I stayed outside. Bon Jovi. I saw Bon Jovi open for the Scorpions. 1984. They were horrible. Next year, Bon Jovi was opening for Rat. I stayed outside and drank away. I was like,
Yeah, I didn't really do that. I was just excited because I was a teenager then. You know, I mean, even Revenge, I was. Let's see. By the time I saw the tour, I think I had turned 18. I just wanted to see any band, and we wanted to find our seats and shit like that. I mean, we got drunk beforehand. I mean, don't get me wrong, we were fucked up when we walked in. But I was never big into like skipping opening bands. I was always like, maybe something will happen, you know? Or we just wanted to get in our seats and we were so excited for the headliner and shit. But oh, I'll never forget that. It was so bad. Like they had this backdrop that was like the cover of their second album was like the planet Earth, and it had headphones on. It's like here, you know, like fuck you. Fuck nobody on planet Earth wants to hear the new Trickster album. And I remember teasing a friend of mine. He bought the first Trickster album, and I was like, "What in the fuck are you thinking? Why would you buy that?" And he tried to give it to me. He gave away like albums he didn't like. And that was one of them. I'm like, no, I'm not taking this. This shit sucks. And you know what else he gave to me? That was fucking incredible. And I still have this copy on vinyl. Grim Reaper. What was the first Grim Reaper album?
call Grim Reaper.
Yeah,
You know.
the one on the one that has what's the ballad on the first album?
See you in
Sh- uh,
hell.
Show Must Go On. Oh man, yeah. I was like, I took Grim Reaper. I'm like, you can keep that Trickster shit, fold it in half, and shove it up your fucking ass. Give it to me good. That was some horrible shit.
I saw that video and it was like, I know what to expect from this band. I would never, ever go see a band that has that song. Just that song alone shows me that this is a band I should stay away from. Enjoy my Jack Daniels and not go in for Trickster.
Right. And that's the thing, you would think like it would be better considering this guy wrote all of the classic Kiss songs that Ace Frehley sang. You know, you would expect better, but no, they're fucking horrible. But no, when I saw this guy, and this guy, like Trickster still tours, but it's Ace Frehley plus the bass player, PJ Farley. Ace Frehley and PJ Farley. You know, and they got another drummer. And I'm like, who the fuck would go see this shit? And this guy's so embarrassed, he won't do any of these reunion shows. But then he's got the balls to talk about Sebastian Bach, you know. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Get the fuck out
yeah,
of here.
I gotta say, man, I gotta agree with you. Trickster does suck.
So, Tom G. Fisher, or Gabriel Fisher, from Celtic Frost, he's explaining why he still plays Celtic Frost songs with Triptykon. And it makes sense. That's what people want to hear. And I actually read the whole interview, and it was pretty, spot on what he said. He was like, "Hey, look, Triptykon is how I wanted to continue Celtic Frost, but without Martin, I wasn't going to call it Celtic Frost, but I write the same way for this band as I would for Celtic Frost, and who else is going to play those songs?" And that's what you want to see that's what you want to hear when you see him. I mean, I am a fan of Triptykon. I like Triptykon. I like their shit. But you want to hear some fucking Dethroned Emperor, and some shit like that when you see him. So I have no problem with that. And if anything, I respect the fact that even though the band's name's something different, you know, you know what you're getting, you know. And it's better than Hellhammer, you know, I'll give you that.
Man, everybody I know, thinks Hellhammer are gods. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Yeah.
But I love Triptychon. They're awesome. You know, and
Yeah.
you know, they lost me after Into the Pandemonium with the fucking Coal Lake and all that shit. And then
Yeah.
2007 reunion. That was a good album. And then, you know, the Triptychon shit after it. Good stuff, man. Tom G. Warrior, he is a kind of touchy guy, though. You ever see the interview that somebody asked him, hey, did you ever hear that song from SOD, Celtic Frosted Flakes? And he lost his mind.
Oh, no shit.
And that song is so cool.
But, oh, I love that song. But nobody does ooh like Tom G. Warrior. I love that shit.
He's awesome. I think he's great. I met him in 2007, and I saw him twice on that tour. They came back opening for Typo Negative.
Yeah, apparently I saw them open up for Typo Negative. I have no recollection. I did a lot of drugs back then. And by that I mean Tuesday.
I went to that show because of the Celtic Frost.
Yeah. Well, because you're silly. You don't like fucking Typo. That's just silly.
I don't want to be me. I love that song.
See, that's one of my least favorite songs.
Oh, I love that song. And I think they did the greatest cover version of a Black Sabbath song.
Yeah.
Really, the only thing I like on Nativity in Black is Typo Negative. But their version of Black Sabbath is so amazing.
Yeah, no, I like it because they did something original, you know.
No,
but I
that,
think Typo has a lot to offer besides that, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, I can't get into it. I like Carnivore.
But a lot of angry people who hate life and hate people will agree with me.
Yeah, they like Typo Negative because Typo Negative is very depressing music. So you know, it appeals to the drunk no lives that love you.
So to me, it's only depressing if you listen to the lyrics. I find the music very soothing.
Well,
but the lyrics are like, oh yeah, fuck that bitch.
It's your followers, Ian. They listen to lyrics.
I don't hate the fans. I hate bands. I don't hate my fans. All 5 of them. I like those 5 guys.
You tell me, fuck the world.
Let's see. Alice Cooper played a show in Connecticut, and Dennis Dunaway came out on stage. Unfortunately, only to do School's Out. I would have liked to see him do a little bit longer. I'm still super excited about the new album. I can't stop listening to Black Mamba. I fucking love that. I just hope the rest of the album lives up to Black Mamba.
By the way, Ian.
Yes.
I was gonna buy that on CD, compact disc. I was gonna
You bought the vinyl?
You know why?
Why?
It's only $18 and it's 2 vinyl.
Yeah, I saw that.
Amazon. So I was like, holy shit. And then I found a really great Saxon album, Sacrifice, for $12 vinyl.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Really?
Sacrifice is a great album too. Yeah, I scooped it up.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks to Ron Dimer. He was the guy that put up and I think it was Joseph Staub that put up the Alice Cooper link. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I did see that. I'm excited about that. I'll tell you what, I've got the most amazing setup. I just got, I think I talked about it in the other episode. My wife got me the screen for I got like 120 something inch screen for my projector. All I need left is the stereo system that I'm getting. And I was showing my son came over. We're watching the fights on the big screen and stuff. We're watching the UFC fights the other week. And I'm showing him what I'm getting for a sound system. And he's like, that's a little fucking pricey, isn't it? And I'm like, this is the last sound system I'm ever going to buy. And I'm like, and this is the one thing when I die that you'll care about, because you won't care about half the fucking, the CDs or the albums that I leave or the fucking movies. You'll be like, oh, that shit sucks. I'm like, but you're going to get this amazing sound system because I'm getting this Denon. It's going to be a Denon receiver, and all the speakers that I'm getting are Polk Audio. I can't wait. I can't wait to get that shit. And I know, though, that once I'm done with that, I'm going to get way back into buying vinyl because I've kind of stepped back, on buying my vinyl because I don't have the setup that I want to where I can appreciate it or where I can really utilize it. And once I get this, I'm like, oh, I can't fucking wait. I can't. You said you're getting a new stereo system as well, right?
I already got it.
Oh, yeah? What'd you get?
I'm old school. I got a Techniques complete stereo system, cassette, vinyl, and CD. And it's fucking amazing. I found it. Actually, Willie found it. And the person that was selling it lived in Fort Myers. And it was a great price. And I told Willie, if you go get me that, bring it to my house and sell everything, I'll give you $500. And he did.
Wow.
Now what I'm going to get, I'm getting a big screen 4K TV. I'm going to have fence around in my house.
Yeah.
Just got to find people to do it for me. I think.
Yeah. No.
I think.
Don't fuck around when you get one. Get an OLD. Because that's what I got for in my living room downstairs. I've got an OLD, and it's the greatest fucking TV I've ever had in my life. I mean, it's amazing. And I've got like a really good sound bar with a sub and everything. Sounds great. But for my theater room, the receiver that I'm getting, it's got the Dolby Atmos and shit. And I've already got the guy who lived here before. He did the same thing. So I've already got surround speakers that are built into the wall. So I just need like my receiver, my front speakers. I'm getting a center channel speaker and a fucking sub, and it's gonna be like true Dolby Atmos and shit. I can't fucking wait. I got the blackout fucking curtains, in my theater room and shit. So it's like it don't matter what fucking time of day it is. That's a fucked up thing here in Seattle. The sun, like especially the sun doesn't go down to like fucking 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. It's fucking ridiculous. But I got these blackout curtains, and I got the 4K laser projector. Oh, fucking can't wait. But when I get that set up and I can fucking play my records the way they deserve to sound and shit, oh, that's going to be so good. But yeah, I'm buying the new Alice Cooper on vinyl too. Because fuck CDs. Even though I got 2,000 of them, or more. I love CDs. But then I was looking, this kind of fucked up. I was looking at it. I was like, well, I don't even have a CD player anymore, but I've got like all these fucking amazing 4K play. I got like 4 fucking 4K players. And like 2 of them are fucking, region free and all this shit. But they're saying like the sound quality, if you play it through a 4K player, it's not the same as having like a dedicated CD player. But I found this one that like a lot of people are championing right now because CDs are making a comeback, and I've been doing all this research and shit. There's like a really good one for like $200. And basically what they're kind of getting at is like if you play a CD on your Blu-ray or your 4K player, it's kind of like if you don't have like the preamp for your record player, or you don't have like a dedicated phono section for your your phono player. You know, it's like it doesn't have the same oomph. It doesn't have the balls, the good, the chutzpah, that you need. But I'm ready for it because fuck it. How many years I got left? Fuck it. I want to go out fucking with a bang. God damn it.
I'm gonna miss you.
I know you will. I know you. How old are you? 60? Jesus Christ.
I turned 60 in February.
We don't have a lot of time left. Let's have some fun.
Ah, fuck it. I don't care. I don't worry about, dude. I'm alive. I'll worry about that when I'm dead. I don't give a fuck. I gotta just like enjoy every day when I wake up. I enjoy that. Well, when I wake up and I feel good, which is a lot, I mean, I was in the hospital for a couple months ago, but but other than those mornings, I wake up in the morning, I feel fine. I go on my day. I go in my backyard here. I pick up leaves from and you can tell the people, Ian, because I sent you pictures.
It looks great.
My whole house is artificial grass. And when I clean up all the leaves in the back, which doesn't take me long, but I will, because the neighbor has a lot of shrubbery coming over the fence.
You could probably just get a blower and blow that shit back into his yard and shit,
I can't because we got a big gate, covered. Can't go through. And man, he's got this big vicious dog. And I got to go up there and pick up the leaves right where that, and he's like, you can tell he's trying to get through the fence.
Oh, dude, I had that at my last house. This motherfucker, every time I cut my grass, he would like gnaw through the fucking fence, man.
Yep,
and I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, this one does the same thing.
Some people got asshole dogs, man. Let's see, what the fuck else? Oh, here's a fucking pain in the ass. So this is a holiday weekend, right? So not only was I going to have a 4-day weekend, I said, fuck this shit. I'm going to use some of my vacation time. I'm going to have a 5-day weekend. So I took Friday off, right? We're recording this shit on Sunday. So I took Friday off. I'm like, I should see what Ralph's doing. I could drop in on his Thursday live show. But then I saw who the fuck you were talking to. I was like, never mind.
Okay.
I'm good. I saw you guys talk to Chris Caffey from Sabotage. How'd that shit go?
Yeah, it went well, man. It went cool.
He's an original member, right? No?
No, and he didn't play on he came in because he explained this on my show. Paul O'Neill produced Hall of the Mountain King. And when they were out on tour, Paul O'Neill wanted Chris to go out on tour to fill out the sound. And he did. And then when they recorded Gutter Ballet, he didn't play anything on that either, but he was still in the band touring. He's a good guitar player. John Oliva did a band called Dr. Butcher, which was back.
Yeah, I know Dr. Butcher.
Yeah, it's back to the classic Sabotage sound. And he played on that, and he's really good on that.
Oh, okay. See, I thought he was like I'm not as informed as you are on Sabotage, but like, I can handle a couple songs on fucking, Hall of the Mountain King, but I'll never forget this guy. I was like, he had like even more CDs than me, and I was like, let me borrow some shit from you because I'm trying to get in these bands that I wasn't into at the time. And one of them was Overkill. Because I didn't like Overkill back in the day because of fucking Blitz's voice. I couldn't get into it. And he let me borrow a bunch of Overkill. And the Overkill stuck. I was like, fuck, I like this shit. But then he gave me a bunch of Sabotage too. And man, anything after fucking Hall of the Mountain King, and the ones that really I'm like, this is some of the worst shit I've ever heard in my life, was Gutter Ballet and Streets, a rock opera. Those were two of the worst fucking albums I've ever heard in my life. That's they're like in a fight with Man of War over who could suck more. Like, oh. But yeah, I was hoping to come on your show, but then I saw you had already lined up to do that guy. I'm like, and you're always you're gracious. You always send me a link whether I can do it or not. Most times I can't, because of my schedule. Well, like, yeah, I ain't going on there when they're talking to this fucking guy, but no, I thought he was old school. But I mean, fuck it, if you like it, and there's people out there, man, that love fucking Sabotage. There's people out there that love that fucking horrible Christmas band album. Fucking bullshit. What's
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah,
Trans testicle fucking Christmas.
yeah. I can't get into that.
Yeah, fucking horrible. But I'm glad you had a good interview with the guy.
Yeah, it was
But
good.
yeah, no, that's I was surprised. I thought he was fucking old school. But I got all excited because I saw a thing on fucking Facebook, or not on Facebook, on Blabbermouth. I was like, I saw a Chris Caffey story, and I was hoping they were referencing your interview, but they were referencing a very inferior show. It wasn't yours, with you and the great Tony Dio and the semi good Wayne,
And,
you
and,
know.
and Count Ralphus.
Count Ralphus. Even the name fucking offends me. But it was funny. I don't even remember. Like somebody posted on the Cheap Trick video. They're like, "You had me crying at the fucking Count Ralphus shit you said."
And you were bashing my good buddy Count Ralphus. You don't even know who the fuck he is. But
No.
there, great example. Somebody is watching you bash a person you have no clue who they are, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Fuck yeah, Ian! Fuck Count Ralphus! I don't know him either. Fuck
Well, Count Ralphus. It sounds like he's trying to ride your coattails, and that's my job.
that." His name's been Count Ralphus for decades.
Yeah, you can sell it all day. I ain't buying it.
That guy's got more than me and you combined when it
Is
comes.
that the guy that's got the kiss boots and shit?
No, he's not a Kiss guy.
Or is that Count Raven? There's fucking Count the Money. I don't know. Who's the guy who like drank from the kiss boots and shit?
Oh, that
Some,
was me. that
huh?
was me.
Oh. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, we toured with a band called Rermach, who's fucking amazing. They're from the 80s. And one of the guys from Wehrmacht knew a dude that worked for Kiss. And that guy ended up getting the Paul Stanley boot. And
Oh.
he made a little funnel thing out of it. It was disgusting.
Well,
Poor
who's Count Raven?
Count
I
Raven.
think that's
Count Raven is a band where the singer sounds exactly like Ozzy Osbourne. You'll think it's Ozzy.
like good Ozzy or shitty Ozzy.
Good Ozzy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't sound auto-tune.
Okay. I get my Count Ravens and my Count Ralphus, and I don't know. It just doesn't sound original. I'll check him out though. I mean, he can't be any worse than fucking Wayne. You
No,
know.
come on, man. Ralphus is great. And I love Wayne. But Wayne cracks me up because so many people hate him. And that's why I'm not going to mention who, but there's somebody we know, touring musician
Yeah.
that he's like, dude, I ain't doing my show with that fucking bald asshole. And I was
Oh, I love Wayne, and I tell you what, that's what endears me is the hate for Wayne. That's when I loved Wayne even more because he's like a kindred spirit, and he's just so like he believes what he believes and he sticks by it, and I love that. I love that because you're not changing Wayne's mind. You know what I mean? But
Wayne,
I respect that shit. As stupid as his opinions might be, I love it.
Wayne is awesome.
Fucking A, he's awesome. Even though he plays in a power metal band.
He likes to bust balls, though. That's the thing about Wayne. He loves busting them balls.
Fucking Wayne's. I love. We got to get Wayne on a show. That shit would be fun.
Dude, he had this. He brought out an album, right? And he's like, "Oh, let me take this plastic off." Dude, it took him minutes. I'm like, "What the fuck's wrong with you? It's a piece of plastic." And he's like, "Ah." It's on my last episode. I mean, this guy took forever. So I grabbed the random bottle and I was like, look, Wayne, I just took it right off. He was struggling with a piece of plastic on a vinyl. He's fucking
Wayne, Wayne and Tony Dio. We've got to get in an episode.
Tony Dio, by the way, has got an awesome brand new YouTube channel.
Oh yes, I like every video he puts up. I like it. I've subscribed, and I encourage all you guys to do that too. And what's funny about Tony is normally the kind of person I would hate, just because he's always positive, always likes everything and respectable, and normally I can't stand that shit. But Tony is so like sincere. Like he everything he says he loves, and what he and that's endearing. Like no matter if I agree or disagree with him, I respect his opinion because I know it's 100%, and he is just a stand-up guy, man. Love Tony Dio.
That guy, he knows more about music than I do. The guy's an encyclopedia. Like somebody the other day sent me a donation. Hey, I want you to donate this review this album that came out in 1978. The band's called The Boys, and the album's called Too Wild to Tame. And the album cover, it kind of looks like Marlon Brando, a biker. And I'm like, check it out. And it was really good, so I posted it. Like, hey man, somebody sent me this obscure band, fucking Tony Dio. Hey, I got that, man. And that band turned into the Bees. Now I know who the Bees are. The Bees was a band later 70s that had Steve Riley on drums.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, the Boys turned into the Bees, but yeah, it's good shit. But Tony right there knew. And he even knew a little history about them. Yeah, they turned into this band. But he had one. Yeah, it's great shit, man. It was.
Yeah, Tony, he fucking rules, man.
He knows everything. He knows. I bring up like a local band from the 80s down here that never released an album or nothing, just demos. Knows them. He's like, oh yeah, I got this and that,
Yeah, I got original flyer. Shit. All right. Did you hear the new Doro song, Warriors of the Sea?
I don't listen to Doro, dude. Ever since Warlock, she sucked. I love her, but her solo music is terrible. I've given up.
I was just gonna say that Doro is somebody that I respect the fuck out of her, because I feel like she believes everything she does.
She does,
but it's just not my bag. You know what I mean? And I listen to this song, and it's like she's releasing this song like Warriors of the Sea because she's doing like one of those fucking metal boat cruises and shit. And I listened to it and I was like, God damn it, you can hear she cares about it. But it just ain't my bag. But I'm like, this bitch is like 60 years old, looks fucking amazing. She still sounds good. I mean, whether I like the song or not, she sounds good.
There
you go, Burning the Witches.
This is her best fucking album.
Is that Burning the Witches?
Yeah. From beginning to end, a metal masterpiece that doesn't get talked about. When people bring up Warlock, they talk of Triumph and Steel, which is a great album. This one.
Yeah.
It's the first.
That one's more metal.
It's all metal.
Yeah.
Search for the song called Signs of Satan. Come on.
Right, but you know what I mean? Like Triumph and Agony, it's got All We Are, which is a catchy song, but it's a cock rock song, let's be honest. Where Burning the Witches, that's more like straight up metal and shit. So yeah, listen to the song. Not that good to my ears, but God damn it, you can just tell she loves it, whatever it is. And I admire her dedication. So fucking A, Doro, do your thing.
I saw her headline, the Culture. I'm like, probably 15 years ago now. It was
Yeah.
this pumping metal show, and she did nothing but warlock shit, and
Oh, really? Just all Warlock. That's awesome.
warlock shit, and it was so fucking metal. It was so awesome, and I love that, and I can't understand why she can't at least find people to write some warlock type songs for her because her
Well,
shit doesn't work.
I don't know. I think she's found a niche, though. I think um, ever since she's gone solo, I mean, there's a market for that, and it's the same people that like power metal. I think they like that, like people who like Dragon Force and crap like that. But speaking of shit like that, music tailored for homosexuals, Manowar shared behind the scenes videos from the Sign of the Hammer re-recording session. So they're re-recording another album. Is Sign of the Hammer one of your favorites there, Ralph?
Of course, man. You know,
Okay, well they're re-recording it to make it sound better. Do you think you'll like this one better than the original Sign of the Hammer?
no, because their remake of Battle Hymns was terrible. The remake of Kings of Metal was terrible, and now they're gonna do. Look, wait, why don't you leave the Ross the Boss shit alone and re-record the shit that Carl Logan the pedophile did and erase his shit and put another guitar player in his place?
Right, but they've got Michelangelo fuck the Kiddio playing guitar now.
I don't.
He can play multiple necks guitars. When he plays guitars, it's like this.
Yeah,
That's who they have now. He can do this. And
you know who also can do that? David
who's
Ellison.
that?
David Ellison.
Oh, we can't talk about David Ellison because he has a podcast with my friend Josh Toomey.
Oh, then I guess I fucked up because I've done several videos. You know what I do, Ian? I go on Google because I do
Yeah,
I do a story on David Ellison, right? Then I
right.
go on Google and I type in slang words for masturbation. On all these great ones, I go, so what if he was like milking the worm, if he was playing 5-1, so what? If I just kept going on and on with all the slangs. And I've done like 4 videos so far about it. And I'm gonna work on now what the next news story I'm gonna do. Kerry King came out and said, look at Dave Mustaine. How many former members does he have? This and that.
Right.
A story on that, and somehow or another, I'm gonna squeeze in David Ellison, go back on Google to force some slang you know, to find more slang ways to talk about masturbation. I'm sorry, man. David Ellison, he deserves it. Look, the guy is married. He's a preacher, and he's doing that shit behind his wife's back. And a preacher, come on. He deserves to be goofed on for eternity because when he dies, he's going to be goofed on in eternity.
Well, it's like Ted Nugent shitting his pants and acting gay to get out of Vietnam, but all he does is shows for the troops.
You know, just to talk about that for a second, Ted Nugent shitting his pants to get out of going to Vietnam. Dude, this guy, I mean, seriously, he has the nerve to say, oh, it was an interview with High Times, bunch of potheads. They're all marijuana. I went on there and I just said whatever they wanted to hear. That's a bunch of bullshit. You know what he can't take back, though? Behind the music. When he talks about how he got legal custody of some underage girl. He talks about it on VH1. That ain't no joke. So I don't believe he shit his pants. I mean, I do believe he shit his pants out of Vietnam. I believe it.
Well, no, and I'll tell you this: my father was drafted during Vietnam, and he told me stories. I mean, he said guys were throwing themselves down flights of stairs trying to break their arm to get out of Vietnam. Um, and I believe it, man. But it's funny. Like now, he's all about the fucking. We're gonna talk about and I don't give a fuck because I love this man's music. I disagree with this man on just about everything philosophically, but I love his music in the 70s because we're going to talk about the fucking abortions he made in the 80s and since. Um, but, and that's the thing I saw Dave Ellefson was like, this Kings of Thrash is kind of running its course.
Oh God!
And
Did you see the video they just released,
yeah,
dude? That was beyond horrible.
right. But he was trying to join Ted's band. And Ted's like, nah, you're into senior citizens. The girl you were grooming was 17. We can't have you, you know. But and Dave and it sucks. I love Dave Ellefson as a bass player. And but I mean there's just something and I know it's like uh I know it's like shooting ducks in a barrel when somebody comes off as holier than thou and they're a pastor and all this shit. Like whatever he did is bad regardless of his other history. But when you like try to post yourself up as like, hey, I'm sober, first of all, and then I'm a pastor, and then I do it, it's like, get the fuck out of here, you
No,
know.
no mercy for that prick. And plus, we did a shitty ass interview with him because he had some dude with him that talked.
Oh yeah. No, I mean he was nice to us though. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and say he wasn't nice. Fucking Tom Hazelnut fucking, took over that whole fucking thing. And, truth be told, I think Tom Hazelnut's the whole reason he's out of fucking Megadeth, more so than the fucking, fucking the kids. Because who in the fuck is fucking Mustaine to judge anybody? Anybody. And again, you're a Christian. Forgive. You fucking dipshit. You know, fuck them. All right. So anyway, new Man of War album's gonna suck. Let's see oh my God, did you see that horrible song with Tony Iommi and Robbie Williams?
No,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
no.
Okay, so Robbie Williams was this dude from the 90s in England. He was like in the English version of like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. And then he went solo and he's like, always in trouble with drugs and all this shit. But he comes from a boy band background. And now he's putting out a new album. And now all of a sudden he's a metal guy. He's a rocker. And in the video, he's wearing that shirt. It's like a Motorhead shirt, but instead of Motorhead, it says Milli Vanilli because he's ironic. But Tony Iommi's on the song. Whew. Boy, does it suck. I mean, Tony's parts are kind of okay. Kinda, but it's like Tony, it's not Tony Iommi playing Tony Iommi riffs. It's just, I don't know. It's just fucked up. It's just, I feel like it's elder abuse. Like to me, Tony Iommi has no idea what the fuck he's doing, and they're just like, "Hey, get up and play your guitar, and we'll give you some money." And he's like, it don't work. It don't work. It's like fucking sushi and ketchup. Fuck that shit.
You don't like ketchup on your sushi?
No, not a fan. I'm a honey mustard kind of guy. Yeah, no, it's just like what? Get the fuck, get Tony Iommi the fuck out of here and get him back in the studio so he can finish remixing those fucking Born Again fucking albums, which I'm excited about, but I'm kind of like I'm kind of like, you know, because I'm negative. You know, I'm negative Ian. The whole world's gonna end. You know, like I don't know when the fuck we're gonna see these albums. Uh, Look how long he was talking about the Tony Martin fucking remixes before they actually showed up. Is there gonna be like a, you know, like it's going to be immediate to where we hear these born again reissues. And a lot of people have been, our friend Martin Popoff said he could give two fucks about it because he said he'll probably listen to it once and go back and listen to the original mix. I, on the other hand, I'm extremely excited about a remix version of Born Again, especially if it ends up being Steven Wilson who does the mixes. And for those of you who don't know, Steven Wilson, he has done amazing mixes, not only for Black Sabbath, but for like Jethro Tull, um, and just done an amazing job. But a lot of you have bought these deluxe Black Sabbath editions, you know, from the Ozzy years. Those Steve Wilson mixes, I feel, have been incredible. Like what he, you know, he did worked on Volume 4, on the Technical Ecstasy. I think what I mean, Technical Ecstasy alone, what I think he added and brought back into it, totally made me redefine what I felt about that album. How about you, Ralph?
Technical Ecstasy is very different what he did to it, and it's awesome. I actually like "She's Gone" on there, and I hate that song. There's no,
Right,
it's impossible. Steve Wilson could not fix Rock and Roll Doctor. That just sucks. Uh,
right.
well, all moving parts stand still. He added some instrument. I don't know if he
Yeah.
added instruments or those instruments were there before and they were
Well,
taken out.
no, no. Well, that's what I was going to say, not to cut you off, but what I love about what he's done is he's not added anything new. He's just taken stuff that was like present in the original recording, but like, you know, the version that we heard when it was originally released, those were mixed out of it and taken out of it. So he's not adding something new. He's taking the original recordings and playing you stuff that you never heard because it was taken out of the mix. That's what I love because that's what I don't want. I don't want somebody adding what they think should have been there. I want take what was originally done and work with that, and that's what he's done. Not only with this band, but with Jethro Tull and all this other shit. And you know, I know we got a lot of listeners like, you know, fuck Jethro Tull, but I do like Jethro Tull and what he's done with a lot of their albums. I'm like, wow, you know, and I love that because I don't want artificial shit. I don't want like, ooh, this is what AI said should have been there. This is stuff that like whoever produced the album at the time decided, I'll take this out. So I'm so excited about that. And I love Born Again as it sounds, but just listening to it, I can tell that something better can be done. And I think that this is the guy to do it with. I trust him out of all the producers that are out there. You know, I'm like, this is the guy to do it. And I think he'll do it justice.
I don't know. I'll wait till I hear it, but man, I don't want to hear Born Again any other way than how it is now.
Okay, well, you're like Martin Popoff then.
You
So
know, because the sound of that album matches the music perfectly. The dinginess, the griminess. It's so dirty and fucked up. I absolutely love it, man. I love it as it is now, but I'm extremely curious to see what they're gonna do with it. You know,
yeah,
but I can't.
yeah, I am too.
Let me put it this way: you're talking about Steve Wilson, this right? Steve Wilson, what he did with all moving parts stand still, bringing in those things that weren't on the one we got, but were
Right.
taken. I don't think it's as good as I think it was wise for them to take out those things because all moving parts stand still sounds perfect. Where this one, it's there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying it's bad, but it does take away a little bit of the awesomeness that was the original. And that's what I fear about Born Again. He'll do something that which will sound cool, but it's still not the original.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you will always have what was originally released. You know, you will have that, so you're not losing it. It's not like it's being replaced,
Right.
but you're given like an alternate take on it, uh, so you can choose what you listen to.
I'm
And I just think his track record is outstanding. So I'm all for it. If it's him, because that's not even been announced if it's him that's doing it or not.
all I know is I'm buying it. Yeah.
Fucking A, me too. All right. What else we got here?
Me right here. I'm still in the room.
All right. Um, Drummer from Devil Wears Prada died, and that's what he gets for being in that band. I don't feel bad.
You tell me and fuck the world.
Yeah, fuck the world. Jason Bonham, he's doing okay. He's playing his dad's music now that Sammy Hagar fucking shit canned him.
Oh yeah. Van Halen was so mean to Michael Anthony, and then he turns around and fires Jason.
Yeah.
Fucking hypocrite.
Sammy Hagar fans suck cock straight up. Straight up fucking suckers of the fucking cock.
Especially Bushy.
Yeah, I know. And don't get me started on fucking goddamn Stephen Kirsch. I still love him, even though he's dead to me. And I haven't heard anything from Stephen Kirsch after I titled the last episode about, you know, his demise. But I still love him. He's still my friend, but I lost a lot of respect for him. Okay, I'll wait till you get back before I talk about this next gay motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I'm right here.
Okay, all right. Ace Frehley's illness forces concert cancellations. Apparently, he got so sick from having fucking toys shoved up his ass, he had to cancel a couple shows. The good news is his background band played the shows and it sounded better than if Ace was there. So there's that.
Actually, the true story, Ace had a bottle of acid shoved up his ass, and the bottle accidentally broke in his ass, spreading the acid up his colon, and that's why he had to not only did he fucking have to cancel shows, but he upped the dose on the pain pills because it hurt so bad. So not only is he taking a regular amount of pain pills, now he's taking 2 bottles more daily. And he's very depressed too, because that bottle that broke in his ass fucked him up so much he can't put stuff up his ass for a while. There you go.
That's what I've been saying all along, you know?
Yeah, but when you say people love it.
Yeah. Basically, all I'm saying is Second Sighting is better than the first Frehley's Comet album.
You're fucking high.
Okie dokie. Former Rough Cut and Mickey Rat guitarist Chris Hager died at 67 years old.
Fuck him because of his last name.
No, it's Hager, not Hagar.
Close enough.
Yeah, it doesn't help his case. But it was funny. I saw somebody, this shit was posted, and they're like, he was never in fucking Rat. No, it turns out this motherfucker was. He was in Rat from the inception when they were Mickey Rat up until the point that Jakey Lee joined, who was later replaced by Warren DeMartini. So, the guy does have some history. And then he would go on to play with Rough Cut, who, not a fan of by any means, but I know of him. And people who know 80s, hard rock. I mean, Ralph, you know Rough Cut, whether you were a fan or not, right?
I love the first album. Check out the song Black Widow. It kicks ass.
Yeah. So he died. But yeah, I mean, he deserves respect for the shit that he was in. And Stephen Pierce even said that, it's unfortunate because they were working on new music like right before he got back together with Warren DeMartini. Him and Chris were working on music together. And it sucks, man. You know, it's weird. And I'll say this, I'm a hater. That shit makes me sad. He's 67. That's just like 66 years older than me and only 7 years older than Ralph. You know, so it's like all of a sudden that shit doesn't seem so old anymore. You know, like poor bastard, you know. Oh well, rest in peace, brother. Let's see what else is going on here.
Life sucks. We should die.
Yeah.
It's my hero.
Chris Poland says being publicly called liar by David Mustaine did a lot of damage to his post Megadeth career.
I did a story on it.
Oh, you did a story on that? I mean, how do you feel about, do you feel that's sincere? Or do you feel that's kind of like covering up shit?
No, what I said in my thing, it's unfortunate because I met Chris Poland after Megadeth, and he was super nice, down to earth, nice guy. And he sounds like somebody that learned from his mistakes. But if you back, like, let's say you, Ian, let's say 1987, how old were
Yeah.
you? Or something?
In 87, I was 13.
All right. In 1987, if somebody would have stole your My Little Buddy, because you're a Gades kid, and they would have stole your My Little Pony and all this shit, they would have stole all that from you. You'd still be pissed at them today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I don't let shit go.
a lot of you don't know, Ian owned one of those little, those little My Little Buddy Gades dolls. Well, Ian, being 13, he bought one of those, and you know how he wore those overalls that had pockets? Ian had in each of those pockets. He had vodka in every pocket of My Little Buddy, and that guy stole them. He wasn't pissed off about My Little Buddy. He was pissed off about the vodka he couldn't drink at 13 years old.
Give me a beer, man. You know, just like in fucking Over the Edge.
Yeah, he did the Well, actually, Over the Edge, you were like 3.
Yeah.
79. How old are you in 79?
79, I was 5 years old. That was my first year of kindergarten.
And I remember being in junior high at that time. Or high school. No, I was in junior high school.
Jesus Christ.
Middle school is called now. It's middle school now. But back when I was a kid, it was junior high.
That's right around the time you got beat the shit out of for wearing an Ace Frehley gay shirt. You know, it was like, because they didn't have like Pride Month back then.
Actually, that was in elementary school. And it was in my elementary school, and it's still there, by the way. It's like a little away. Mayhem Walter's here, the big field, and there's Filer Junior High. So the kids from Filer would come out of school and beat up the kindergartens. And I got day for wearing an Ace Frehley shirt. They lifted up my shirt and gave me a red belly, slapping it, and Led Zeppelin rules, Kiss sucks. And I'm like, dude, I like Led Zeppelin more. Shut up, you anti-heterosexual. They used the F word. And then they just slapped my belly and fucked me up.
And that's a fucked up thing is like when you're beat the shit out by people defending hot dog, that's when you know you're fighting a losing battle.
Yeah, that was 79. So yeah,
they're like, no, hot dog rules. Charisma sucks.
And,
you know.
But I would agree with them. Well, not about charisma, but I would agree with them with hot dog. It is a good song.
No, that shit sucks.
Well, I'm sorry, it's good to me, but it's not good to you and your minions.
That's stop saying minions like there's plural. I have like one fan. But he's important to me, goddammit.
Boy, is he pissed.
And you know, while we're talking about things that are important to small children, let's get into the album we're talking about. Ted Nugent.
All right.
The self-titled album.
Let me show you. In 1987, I went to go see Triumph.
Yeah.
And I had a waterbed and it sprung a leak and I had to go to the car.
Oh, the infamous waterbed incident ruined your vinyl. Oh,
Look at that. And I played it today. There's not many crackles and pops. The vinyl is still really good. But yeah, the waterbed got this one. Look at that shit.
let me ask you this. Okay, so between 84 and 86, there was tours where Ted Nugent opened up for Judas Priest on Defenders. Did you see that?
No, I saw Kick Axe.
Okay, and then who else? There's somebody else Ted opened up for.
He opened up
When
for
you,
Kiss on the Crazy Nights tour.
yeah, did you see that?
Yeah. And he blew Kiss off the stage.
Really? Because he put out a horrible album at that time.
Doesn't matter. He didn't play much of it.
Okay. All right. And I saw Ted Nugent. Jesus. As I think of it, I might have only seen Ted Nugent one time, and that was Kiss on the farewell tour when it was Skid Row with Scab Sebastian Bach. The guy that was so bad that Jesus Christ smit him and killed him, Johnny
Yeah,
Sellinger.
right on in.
Yeah. Um, I think that's the only time I saw Ted Nugent. But god damn was he fucking good. Holy shit was he good. And I don't know who was in the band at that time. I don't think Derek St. Holmes was with him.
No,
But
I think Aldridge was his drummer then. Wasn't it?
I do. Yeah, you're right. Now, come to think of it, I think Aldridge was the drummer, but I don't think Derek St. Holmes was with him. I think it might have been like Ted doing all the vocals.
Yeah, it was.
Uh, but so good. So fucking good. I remember being in the beer line. Like, you talk about like waiting for people, you're out in the parking lot getting drunk, during shitty opening bands. I remember being in the beer line during fucking Skid Row. Scab Row is what I'll call them. Scab Row. Like, yeah, who gives two fucks about this shit? Because they're not even that great a band with Sebastian, and they're even worse without him. But man, I was in my seat by the time Sweaty Teddy came on, and I was like, holy shit. I mean, so good. I mean, Stranglehold alone blew away any song Kiss played that night. If I'm being honest. I mean, that was just, mind blowing. But Ted is one of those I've always loved. And it's funny, a lot of people know I'm very liberal in my politics. I could give a shit less. I love Ted's music. Ted Nugent, from the inception of the Amboy Dukes through Intensities in 10 Cities, can do no wrong.
I agree.
After that, it's fucking horrible. And a lot of people are like, oh, Ted kills animals. Oh, Ted's a Republican. Oh, Ted's had kids out of wedlock. Oh, Ted's a draft dodger. Ted did this, Ted did that. But what most people don't say is the worst thing that Ted ever did, that what you should really be focusing your hate on, is damn Yankees. If you could give him a pass for damn Yankees, but you judge him on the other shit, shame on you. That's the worst shit. That's the worst shit. But I shouldn't say that, because I did go back and listen to. I will say this. I knew certain Ted Nugent songs from classic rock radio growing up. I knew like, Cat Scratch Fever, Stranglehold, stuff like that. But the first time, like, I knew, like, okay, this is Ted. This is on my radar. I was watching Headbangers Ball, and they played The Story of Love,
Oh,
which is a song he wrote with Richie. I don't believe he wrote with. I should say was written and he signed his name to. But written by Richie Sambora and John Bon Jovi. It was on the album called "If You Can't Lick 'Em, Lick 'Em." Great album cover, shitty fucking album. Holy, do you have that shit on vinyl, Ralph?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
looking.
you better not.
I do.
Oh no.
No, I didn't buy it though,
Okay.
but I
I
do.
saw I saw Ted Nugent there. What was that? Predator. What do you got there?
Bunch of
Oh
things.
God, do you really have if you can't lick them on vinyl?
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Holy shit! What an album cover though.
This album was. I remember how I got this. Somebody gave me a stack of vinyl, and another crappy Ted Nugent album. This one, and I saw this. Oh, this is a real bad one right here.
Yep, it's not as bad as the other one though.
But it's
It's
bad.
bad, but it's not as bad as if you can't lick them.
I'll tell you, this one, and I saw the tour. Fucking
Which one? Predator?
oh, this one, man. Ooh, this is good.
Oh,
This,
yeah, that one sucked too.
I saw this tour, and this album and the tour had Carmine a piece on drums.
And it was the return of Derek St. Holmes too.
Was he in there?
Yeah. I
He,
don't know about the tour, but on the album.
yeah, he was on the tour. Yeah, now I remember.
Yeah,
And,
that was the.
and here's the thing. He was on the tour for You Can't Lick 'em, but he wasn't on the album, but he did that tour.
Oh, really?
I saw that tour. It is an interesting story. I saw Ted Nugent on that tour. After that show, me and my friend Nick went to this place in Fort Lauderdale called Uncle Sam's Music and spent the night there because the next morning they were selling the Monsters of Rock tickets. So
Ugh.
we spent all night getting drunk. Well,
Oh, gross.
never seen Metallica, so we were all excited for that alone. So we got drunk and bought tickets, and then that was a killer record store. I bought 2 Merciful Fate bootleg vinyls that day, and that's the interesting thing. The night I saw Ted Nugent, we did that after the show, and it was great. They opened up with Stormtrooping, and when when I saw Derek St. Holmes start singing, I was like, "What the fuck?" Because he's got,
Oh, okay.
and as I recall, they didn't play anything from that album at that show, anything.
Man, that story of love song was fucking horrible though.
And I'll say this, man. I don't love the first damn Yankees, but there's like 3 songs I like on it. That's more than I can say with every other Ted Nugent album that he's done.
Well, I will say I like coming of age, you know.
Yeah, no, and I like whatever the Ted Nugent song is on that album.
Pile driver.
Pile Driver. I like that song, and I like the song "Come Again."
Ugh.
Tommy Shaw sings. That's it.
Yeah, you like that Sticks fucking faggot shit though.
I love Sticks.
Yeah. Stick it up your ass.
I, that's the love. Ace really loves Sticks up your ass thing.
All right. Hold on. My granddaughter needs me. I'll be right back. You defend damn Yankees. I'll be back in a minute. Or 4.
I ain't gonna admit that. I like a couple songs, but you know what? The other day I was on was in my iPod shuffle, and I gotta tell you, man, one of the greatest songs ever. And I realized, man, this is my favorite song from this band. Is "Don't Tell Me You Love Me" by Night Ranger. What a perfect kick-ass song. And I remember when that shit was brand new, because I already loved Brad Gillis with Ozzy. And when I saw that video is cool with the fucking train. What a kick-ass fucking song. Don't tell me you love me. I don't wanna know. I went out and bought Night Patrol, the first album. Good album. Some really good tracks like The song Night Ranger, Don't Tell Me You Love Me, Sing Me Away. Eddie's coming out tonight. Midnight Madness came out. I liked even more. But, my favorite on Midnight Madness is Touch of Madness. But nah, I used to say Touch of Madness was their best song. No, man. I said that because I wanted to be like countercultural. Oh, I don't want to say one of their hits is the best. No, man. I never really analyzed it. But listening to Don't Tell Me You Love Me, this Night Ranger never did a song that good ever again. Ever again. You know? One of the greatest, I think it's one of the greatest songs ever, actually. I would put it up there like at least top 50 of greatest rock songs. Fucking amazing. What the fuck? Why is he taking so long, man? Anyway, no, I'm not going to defend Damn Yankees. The second album sucked. I heard they made a third. This is the story I heard. They made a third album, and the record company literally paid them, I don't know how many millions of dollars, to not release the album. And that album had a different singer. They brought in a singer. You got already Jack Blades, Ted Nugent, and Tommy Shaw. Why are you going to get a singer? I'm sure that album's horrible. I know Don't Tread on Me was just not good. I bought that shit when it came out. I actually bought that one on cassette because it was cheap. I was like, oh, let me check out. I liked a couple songs off the first Damn Yankees. Then I bought that and I was like, ugh. I still got that cassette. Now I got a cassette player. I should play. I hope he is back because I don't know. I have nothing else to say, man. We're just going to be looking at each other now if Ian doesn't come in. Well, I will say, I found a couple cassettes. I have a bunch of cassettes, and I was looking through them, and I found 2 cassettes that were the Metal Shop, which was a show I would tape in the 80s. On school nights, they would give it at 1 in the morning. I'd stay up and record it, be dead the next day at school. But I found 2 of them, and oddly enough, both cassettes said Metal Shop mix, tape 2. The other one says Metal Shop tape 2. I was like, what the fuck? But anyway, I put that on, and there's so many killer obscure bands on there. There's a band called Dead Engine, really good. Pandemonium, Eric Steele. It's just a bunch of killer shit. All right, now I'm done talking.
I'm back.
All right, go ahead, Ian. What's next?
All right, we're talking about how shitty Ted Nugent got to be.
Yeah.
But let's talk about how awesome he was, though.
I gotta say, one record though, I do like from Ted Nugent after.
What's that?
Brave Man.
Is that good? I've never listened to that. I got to be honest.
I thought it was a great album. It was a return to form, and then it just went to shit again after that with Love Grenade. That was garbage.
Yeah. Well, I will say, I remember when he put out his last album, Detroit Muscle, he put out this song, and I could not believe that you defended this song.
You got it wrong. I did not defend it. I even said the song is crappy, but it was hilarious. I liked it because it was fun. I liked it like I like the Poison songs.
That you know what I'm talking about is the American Campfire.
Yeah, you told me to listen to it, and I listened to it. I was like, so bad, it's great. That's how I looked at it.
But so bad. But for those of you who don't know or who didn't grow up on this music, there was a time when Ted Nugent was fucking king. I mean, this guy, I'll never take away his fucking, guitar ability. I disagree with him in almost every other aspect in life. But that doesn't matter when it comes to music because this guy's guitar playing from the 60s and 70s is so fucking awesome. So fucking sweet. And even, like I said, even into the 80s. From the first Amboys Dukes album to fucking Intensities in 10 Cities. I mean, this guy Holy fuck. And I don't give a fuck what he did. I don't give a fuck what he did to get out of Vietnam. I don't give a fuck how many fucking teenagers he fucked. I really don't. You know? That might blow some minds. I don't care. I don't care. Those kids wanted to get fucked. And Ted Nugent was there to fuck those kids. You know? That's
Ted,
what he does.
Ted Nugent.
Yeah. Fuck him. You
Hey,
know, but
I saw the Scream Dream tour.
yeah. How was that?
Oh my god, that was the first.
Was
time.
that still Charlie Hun singing?
Yeah, and it was probably my third concert ever. It was Cheap Trick, then the Cars, then Ted Nugent with Pat Travers. I'm talking about Pat Travers with Pat Thrall, Mars Collin, and
Right.
Aldridge, Lethal, and opening the show, the Scorpions
Ooh.
on the Animal
Nice.
Magnetism tour. And I already knew the Scorpions because I had what is that? Ted Nugent and Kid Rock.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Scorpions were badass, but that's the tour where Ted came out swinging on a rope dressed as Tarzan.
Yeah.
And he just was fucking screaming his ass off. I was very close for that show. I was probably like third row. And yeah, it's the first time I ever saw Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent was still a huge draw at that time.
Yeah.
Bingo Tango was a big hit. And you know something funny is that after that tour, I've seen many tours after that. That was the only tour he played Wango Tango. He never did Wango Tango after that.
I know that's something I was surprised to see. Like in recent, like he doesn't play Wango Tango.
No, he only did it on the Scream Dream tour. Well, at least he only did it on Scream Dream tour from every tour I've seen after that. Hey, I saw Ted Nugent a couple years ago on his farewell tour. Let's see if it is a farewell tour.
Well, no. Did you see he's doing another tour now? It's called the Stranglehold 50th Anniversary Tour. He just played a couple days ago. He's already got a new tour going.
I'd go see it again.
I would too. If he came around here, I ain't lying. I'd go see it. You know. I would wear this new shirt that I saw on the internet that I think is fucking awesome. It says, Kid Rock is the Fred Durst of Ted Nugent's. And I'm like, that is a fucking shirt, man. That is a fucking shirt. But this guy, I mean, especially for somebody like me who grew up, a little bit south of Chicago, there's something about Midwest rock. And unfortunately, it's the shit that came out of Michigan. It's not the shit that came out of Chicago, because while Chicago's known for having some of the greatest rock fans of all time, and the pits in Chicago are legendary. Like, you're gonna get fucking killed. That's why the Aragon Ballroom was called the Aragon Brawl Room, because you get fucking killed. But the bands that came out of Chicago were the most faggoty fucking bands ever. Styx, fucking Smashing Pumpkins, horrible crap like that. Chicago is more metal than Styx or fucking Smashing Pumpkins. I mean, that's how bad bands out of Chicago are.
Yeah, well, Cheap Trick came out of Chicago.
Well, they came out of Rockford, and that'd be like saying, for you, okay, like they came out of Okeechobee, but they're a Miami band. You know what I mean? It's there, but it ain't there. It's Hialeah. It ain't Miami. It ain't Miami Beach. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, lot of bullshit bands came out of Chicago. Probably my favorite band out of Chicago would have to be fucking Ministry, but that motherfucker came out of Cuba. Anyway, but there's something about Michigan bands, man. There's something about Ted Nugent, fucking, Bob Seger. This was working class, like fucking. This was the type of music you would go, when I grew up, we would go out in the fucking country, and we would find like an abandoned house or abandoned area. We would build a bonfire and we would drink like the cheapest beer, whatever we could get. And we would listen to music like this. And it was a fucking ritual and it was fun. And there was something blue collar, working class about this that I love. It wasn't white trash like fucking, Kid Rock. It was blue collar. It was like working man's fucking music, man. And that's what Ted Nugent was. Um, and we loved it, man. It was just fucking phenomenal. And again, hats off, to Michigan and fucking, the Stooges, the MC5s, Bob Seger, Ted Nugent, uh, Michigan. It's like Wisconsin, but with balls, you know. Um, and again, for Chicago being such a hard place to grow up and like some tough shit, why do we have such pussy bands like fucking Styx? A pussy band. A pussy fucking band. Uh, Ted Nugent, though, straight out of fucking Detroit. Good shit. Um, but yeah, I grew up, I knew, Ted Nugent, I knew like the radio songs. And like I said earlier, I remember seeing that video on Headbangers Ball, like, oh, this is horrible. But I like the other songs. But my first Ted Nugent purchase was Great Gonzo's Greatest Hits. Greatest Hits compilation put out in 81. I think I had that on cassette and then I got it on CD. And then I really got into Ted Nugent when there was like I guess you could call it a box set, but it was only 2 CDs at the time, but it was considered a box set called Out of Control, which I believe came out in 80 or 93. And that's when I did more of a deep dive into Ted. I knew more than just the radio hits. I mean, that's when I first heard uh, Jailbait for the first time. I mean, all this fucking other amazing shit. Which, like, Jailbait. Top 5 fucking Ted Nugent songs for me. I don't give a fuck what the lyrics are about. I don't care how fucking, sick it is, whatever this. Yeah, she's 13, throw the cuffs on her and I'll share her with you. I don't give a fuck. That riff is fucking amazing. So that's when I started doing my deep dive into Ted, and that's when I got the first album, Free for All, all the shit, Cat Scratch Fever, Double Live Gonzo, Scream Dream, Weekend Warriors, State of Shock. All this shit I got because that box set was pretty much, I believe it was just Ted Nugent through Intensities in 10 Cities. I don't think there was anything past that.
Wasn't Little Miss Dangerous on there? Wait, I got it. Let me grab it.
It might have been.
Here it is.
That might have been on there because that was a minor hit, but before I got into hard rock. So, yep, that's the one right there.
Let me see. Yeah, Little Miss Dangerous. Yeah, it goes up to, and they only put Little Miss Dangerous because every song before that, before that it's Jailbait, and then
Yeah,
Terminus Eldorado, Scream Dream, Wango Tango, all the way
yeah.
down. But yeah, dude, what a ripoff. 2 CDs for a box set? Are you fucking stupid or what?
Oh yeah. Well, it was a cash grab, but I mean, I bought it because of I had Great Gonzos, which I mean, you probably have Great Gonzos too, don't you?
I think so. Greatest Gonzo.
Yeah,
Him on the cover with the guitar.
yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I do have that, but
You probably got it on vinyl.
no, I have it on compact disc, but I can't find it now. But I do have that. But I mean, I don't even know why I bought that shit because I owned every Ted Nugent album up to that point.
Right, but I mean, it was a very popular. I mean, that Great Gonzo went double platinum. I mean that, and at that point, it was from Ted Nugent, 1975. into Scream Dream, I believe. Um, so I don't think there was anything off Intensities and Tin Cities. I think it was just through Scream Dream because I know Wango Tango was on it because I knew
Oh,
that.
intensity killed his career.
I don't know why. I think it's amazing.
I love that album, but everybody I knew hated it. And one of the reasons, even though I liked the song, but it was constantly on the radio, it's not one of the better songs on the album. Though it's not a bad song. It's a song called Flying Lip Lock.
Yeah, Flying Lip Lock. Yeah.
Okay, song, but there's so much better on the album. Put Up or Shut Up. Probably my favorite on there. In Jail.
Oh yeah, Love Me Like a Tire Iron and shit. And
Another great one, but Flying Lip Lock, it's not that it's a bad song, but to me it's like my least favorite. It's kind of like how You Got Another Thing Coming is the song. And
yeah,
that annoys the fuck out of me. But it's the biggest Judas Priest song, you know?
yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I love that shit, and this is kind of shit we would listen to, man. But back then it's different than now. We used to go to parties where kids would drink and then have sex. Kids don't do that anymore, you know, because you're all a bunch of fucking nerds that play Magic the Gathering, you know, and you talk to girls online instead of talking to them in fucking person. We used to finger bang chicks and then we date rape them after we gave them Boone's Farm. And
Hey,
everything was okay the next day.
oh man, remember Spanish Fly?
Oh, yeah, that was a thing.
Oh, we got some, right? There's one here and this out when I was a little kid. And we fed it to this girl called Christine. We gave her some Spanish Fly to bang her.
Yeah.
And
She
and
banged you anyway.
she threw up and she didn't bang either of us.
Oh, that sucks.
We were planning on three-waying her.
Uh, no, I used to love like, you know, because, you know, chicks like Boone's Farm and fucking, what was the other shit? Uh, Besides Boone's Farm, what was the big one?
I love Boone's Farm. What didn't they have like there was a certain flavor of the Boone's Farm that I liked.
Well, that's what it was. It was shit you gave girls. I mean, that's how you got laid back in the day. You played Journey, you gave them Boone's Farm, and what was the other thing? Mad Dog. Mad Dog.
Oh, no, that shit's violent. That's horrible. I MD 2020 was brutal.
I know, but it still had that like fruity flavor that like girls who couldn't drink beer would drink that, you know?
Yeah, I hated MD 2020. I love Boone Farm.
Yeah. But yeah, you'd put on shit like that and shit like this, and it was a party and everybody had fun, you know? It was good times. It was a different time, man. People talked to each other. It wasn't keyboard warrior shit. It was weekend warriors, god damn it, you know? And you'd have fucking a blast until the cops showed up, and then you would run from the cops and fucking just good times, man. You know? But fuck it, let's get in this album, man. Because this is something I definitely discovered. You know, this came out in 1975, but I probably didn't get into this till 1995 because I was a greatest hits guy with Ted Nugent back then. But I'll take the opening track, Stranglehold. Holy shit! One of the greatest songs of the 70s or any other decade. Hypnotic, sexy, pure rock and roll. 5 out of 5 domestic batteries. It does have kind of a fucked up lyric. You know, and what sucks is, you know, not only is this known for, you know, the incredible Ted Nugent fucking solo, which I mean the song like a minute and a half and then it goes into the solo for like fucking 6 minutes. But the bass from Rob Grange, who played with Ted Nugent, you know, previously when he was in the Amboy Dukes, because it started out Amboy Dukes, Then a lot of members started dropping off, and then it was Ted Nugent and the Amboy Dukes, and then it was Ted Nugent's Amboy Dukes, and all this shit. Rob Grange kind of came in the middle of the Amboy Dukes era, but stuck with Ted, and that like flange on his bass, that like distortion on this, that makes the song. I mean, besides everything else that's fucking flawless about this, um, but it's very integral to the fucking song. And unfortunately, Ted was a fucking prick. Ted did not give Rob songwriting credits. He would come out years later and say, "Yeah, Rob wrote that with me." A big thing for this band was Ted was coming out of the whole like Amboy Dukes situation. He was questioning guys' commitments to the band, other people with drug use, and Ted was famously sober at this point, just a fucking sex addict that liked to fuck kids. But when he started out this band, it was supposed to be the Ted Nugent Band, and that's how they were signed. They were signed to like Leela Krebs, the same management company as Aerosmith, and they toured as the Ted Nugent Band. And that was part of the condition of David, what the fuck's his name? St. Holmes. Whatever the fuck St. Holmes' name is. What's his name? David St. Holmes? Or am I thinking of fucking
Derek St. Holmes.
Derek St. Holmes? I was like a David St. Hubbins from fucking Spinal Tap. Anyway, Derek St. Holmes. So he didn't want to join like Ted Nugent's band. He wanted to start a band where everybody had equal say. So they go on tour, they build this shit up, they record this album, and then all of a sudden it becomes Ted Nugent, and then Derek St. Holmes leaves during the recording of Free For All, the next album, because he's like, fuck this, I want to be in a band. I'm not your backup, bitch. I'm not your fucking Jeff Nichols, god damn it. Nichols, please. But then he would come back later, of course. But anyway, it was supposed to be a band, but then, manager was like, what sells? People know Ted Nugent's names. They don't know anything else. So let's, whatever sells. But then let's get into songwriting credits. Whoever is, has the songwriting credits is the true motherfucker that makes the money. So after this album, he would leave, and then Rob Grange would leave later. Clive Davis, the drummer, he would stick around the longest, but would also leave. But goddamn, Stranglehold. Holy shit, one of the greatest songs of all time. And this is something so many fucking nights I just remember like driving out in the fucking country. Because I grew up out in the, 50 minutes south of Chicago, but I grew up, in a little town, went to a little high school. But would be driving around these like country roads at night, high as a fucking kite. Got a couple of fucking beers in me, feeling fucking good, hearing this shit. Sometimes you want to get high, sometimes you gotta start low. All that shit. I mean, this was my teenage years. I love this shit, and the song still has that power every time I hear it. It takes me back to that place, and it's just amazing. And Ralph, has even more history with this. What do you think of the Stranglehold, Ralph?
Well, right out the gate, greatest Ted Nugent song, period. And I'm telling you, the main part of seeing Ted Nugent live is Stranglehold, and it's mesmerizing live. That song, and I'm talking about even old Ted. All these years, it's still one of the greatest things to see performed live is Ted Nugent doing Stranglehold. That solo, and the fucking bass, man, is so fucking in the pocket, the groove. It's a fucking monumental, amazing song. And I was playing this album today. And boy, when that opening riff came on, I cranked my stereo very loud. I actually had to leave the room because it was so loud. Still wanted to hear it though, loud, but I had to leave the room. my God. And yeah, that long ass guitar solo, every single note Ted Nugent hits is perfect for the song. You can't fucking change anything on what he does in that long ass guitar solo. And yeah, and the drummer, man, Clive, not Clive, Cliff, right?
Cliff Davis.
Not Clive Davis, but
Yeah,
Cliff.
Cliff. Yeah.
My God, the way he does the beat and shit, you can tell
Mhm.
the guy is like Phil Rudd level badass, you know. But
Yeah.
and you hear other songs how he like, well, he does it on Stranglehold when they come back in and he starts beating the shit out of the drums. And of course, Derek St. Holmes vocals, which by the way, he does all the vocals on this album except for one song. So yeah, I mean,
Yep.
fuck. I love Ted Nugent's voice. I don't mind Ted Nugent's voice. I love Derek St. Holmes' voice. Love it.
And that's the thing I'll say that, sucks because I can see where, they wanted to make this a band and not just around Ted Nugent because, this album, Free for All, Cat Scratch Fever, and Double Live Gonzo has a certain sound that you'll never get again. And I like the albums with Charlie Hunn. I do. I think he was really good, but it's not the same as this band. Uh, and when you lost Rob and you lost Derek, you still had, Cliff and Ted through Intensities and Ted Cities. And it was still a good band, but I mean, it was just like there was something here that if you listen to the later, Ted Nugent albums, that shit's totally missing. It's totally gone. You have Ted that's always going to sound amazing on guitar, but there was, a certain what do you call it? What's the Police album?
Synchronicity.
Synchronicity. Yes, there is a synchronicity with this band that you don't, is totally missing from 80s and 90s Ted Nugent, And it's this band. They were a band, you know. Uh, Good shit, Ralph. What do you think of the next song, Stormtroopin'?
Oh man. I will say I do prefer the Double Live Gonzo version, but this song rips. It's a great song. I think this album should have ended with Stranglehold, and this should have opened it. This is a great opening.
Good idea.
I believe this is what opens Double Live Gonzo, isn't it?
Uh, no, just what the doctor ordered, I think, opens up
Okay.
Double Live.
But dude, what a fucking amazing fucking song. Yeah, you're right.
Uh,
Is the fourth song. But that version on here.
oh, amazing.
Well, every version. I would say Stranglehold is so amazing. That would be probably the only song. I also say Cat Scratch Fever I like more on studio than, but nothing wrong with the live version. I'm just saying every live version on here
God damn.
is better.
Ralph, this doesn't happen often. I gotta agree with you. The only studio versions that I like better than what's on Double Live Gonzo is Stranglehold and Cat Scratch Fever.
Yep. Oh, we're looking at now. You're right. Yeah, they are the best. Wang Dang Sweet Tang is a little close, but the only reason I give the edge to the live album because my God, his opening speech on that song.
Nashville Pussy.
Yeah. Arm because of that. If you want to come here and get mellow, you can turn around and
Get the fuck out.
As a little kid, I bought Double Live. I bought this album I've had since the 70s. I've had this shit. Like maybe I bought this in 78, 79. And to me, Ted Nugent was the most raucous, no frills. You ain't going to get no ballad out of me, motherfucker, in the 70s. was like the real deal. If you wanted real kick-ass hard rock and roll, nobody delivered it better than Ted Nugent in um in the 70s. But Stormtrooping, fuck, get ready, ready, Stormtroopers coming. Come on. How fucking badass is that song? And Derek singing, but yeah, better on Double Live Gonzo, but still very cool on the first album. That's what I think, Ian.
All right. Well, that kind of fits right in with my fucking notes. Weird when we agree. This is one that was a grower for me. And I don't know why, because I love it now, but the first time I heard Stormtrooping was on the Out of Control, which on the Out of Control was the studio version. I liked it, but didn't love it. Excuse me. But when I heard the Double Live Gonzo version, that's when this song took on a whole new meaning for me. I loved everything. The chorus is what kind of like didn't sell me. But then when I heard the Double Live Gonzo version, I was like, okay, then all the stars aligned. It made perfect sense. And I was like, okay, love this fucking song. Love it. Love it. But it's one of those ones that it just took the live version to light that fire under my ass. But now, even when I hear the studio version, I'm behind it. I'm like, okay, yeah, totally. Even though my preferred version is the Double Live Gonzo. Then we go to the next song, Hey Baby. Now, this is one I go a little back and forth on. I like it, but it's a little rock and rolly for me. But I can't hate it. But there's something a little like, I don't know. I just think there's better on this album. Now, this was a Derek St. Holmes song. And he gets full credit for this one. I like it. I don't love it, but there's not enough for me to fucking hate it. I mean, it's a classic track. But to me, there's other songs on here. I'm an album guy. So if I listen to this, I'm going to listen to this from Stranglehold on through Queen of the Forest, you know. But this is never one that I would go to like right away. And I believe this is on Out of Control. Or it might have been on Greatest Gonzos.
It's on Out of Control.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So it's one like I would never like, oh, I'm going right to this song. But if I'm listening to this album as a whole, I've got no problem with it. But it's still not one of my favorites. What do you think, Ralph?
Well, I tell you, this is an all killer, no filler album. But if
really all killer, no filler,
yes.
Okay.
But my least favorite is Hey Baby.
Really? Wow. Interesting.
My least favorite.
Interesting.
Like you said, it's kind of rocky rolly. You know, I like it. It's got a good little dance. You know, but it needs something else. It needed maybe a change in the music later on in the song. I think could have been, like sped it up, different riff, but just the whole song like that. I don't think bands can successfully do a song with the same riff all the way through it unless it was written by Malcolm Young. All right, so then just what the doctor ordered. Double Live Gonzo is the better version, but my God, it's awesome on here. You know, and it's a great way to, like, you know, put an end to side one, man. It's a great closer. Perfect song from side one to close side one. Ripping. I love Derek on this. He's on fire. The whole band is on fire. This is one of my favorites. But, you know, of course, Stormtrooper will be my favorite. I mean, Stranglehold. But I love it. I love the song.
All right. Well, to me, total classic rock and roll. Uh, to me, this is the sound of 70s Midwest hard rock. Um, Not a misspent note. I mean, everything is just like from the fucking hip. Uh, and when I talk about that, when I say from the hip, I mean it's sexual. There's something about it. You listen to it, your brain is not listening to what the lyrics are. You might know all the lyrics and you can sing along, but you're not thinking about the lyrics like it's a Dylan song where you're trying to interpret it or anything. You just know the way it makes you feel like this and you want to fucking get laid and you just want to fuck and you feel that fucking guitar riff and everything. Just what the doctor ordered is amazing. I will, same thing as Ralph. Um, the definitive version is the double live Gonzo, but this, the studio version is no fucking slouch at all, at all. I mean, this is just. Um, there's a lot more popular Ted Nugent songs to me, but this has all the A, B's, and C's of what a Ted Nugent song should be. Everything is in this. Um, I love it. I love it. All right, I will flip this motherfucker over. Oh, then we go to a song. Boy, did I learn something about this today that I had no idea about. Snakeskin Cowboys. Always love this song. And this is one that wasn't on Greatest Gonzos. It wasn't on Out of Control. I did not find this fucking. It's not on Double Live Gonzo. I did not discover this one until I got this album. But that riff, that down, 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 my favorite type of rock and roll, sleazy, nasty rock and roll. We're talking some fucking Exile on Main Street fucking nastiness, even the shit like even out of the cock rock era. The bands that I liked the most were the ones that were sleazy, like Faster Pussycat and fucking LA Guns. Had this element of like, slimy fucking, I don't know, there's just something creepy to the riff. That's what I love about Snakeskin Cowboys. Never listened to the lyrics for a fucking bit. Could care less. I knew them. I could sing along with them, but they didn't register in my brain. All I heard was that. So I'm doing fucking, I always do research for these fucking albums. I'm trying to teach you motherfuckers something. So Ted Nugent's doing a radio interview in 1978, and they come out, before they go back in the interview, they're playing Snakeskin Cowboys. Come out of the interview, they start talking to fucking Ted, like, hey, what's this about? Like, oh, you killed a snake and you made some snakeskin boots, blah, blah, blah. Ted Nugent goes, no, Snakeskin Cowboys is about fucking queers. And that's what he said. The song's about gay dudes. And then you read the lyrics, you're like, oh shit, he's right. So he's in a Detroit fucking radio station talking about this shit. The next interview is Patti Smith. So Patti Smith hears him talking about all this fucking like, oh, it's about queers and all this fucking shit. She comes in the fucking radio interview and beats the shit out of fucking Ted Nugent, like punches him in the fucking chest, like goes to town. They cut from the interview. They have to go. This shit is up on YouTube. Look it up. 1978, Ted Nugent and Patti Smith. She beats the shit out of him. And like he's making fun of Patti Smith before this happens. And then afterwards, she comes in, beats the shit out of him. They cut to commercial. And Ted's like, I'm sorry, Patty. Anything I did to offend you? Like he totally backwalks this shit. It's fucking great. It's fucking great. He's like, she's a really good girl. She's going to be coming here next. Come see me at the so-and-so dome. Bye. You know, he wasn't like Ted Nugent, like I'm gonna shoot everybody with my gun and shit. He's like, you know, totally being a fucking little bitch. It doesn't matter though. The song itself, Snake Singing Cowboys. Holy fuck. And what's funny, like knowing what it means now, it's like kind of changes it. But again, it doesn't change a fucking thing because all I know is how I feel when that fucking riff hits me. Uh, Amazing. And there's, you know, if you look at like, you know, the traditional list, there's 9 tracks on this album. 8 of them were played live. There's only one song on this album that was never played live. Uh, and this one was played recently. And it's a fucking kick-ass track. And oh my God. When I saw Teddy didn't play this, but if he did, I would have shit my fucking pants because this is a slimy, nasty, fucking sweet-ass fucking riff. What do you think of Snake Skin Cowboys, Ralph?
Love it. You know, the first time I heard this was California Jam.
Oh, yeah? Do you know Cal Jam 2 was the last show that the original Ted Nugent band ever played?
I have that record.
Yeah, with you know, with Derek, with Rob Grange and Cliff or Clive, whatever the fuck his name is. That is the last show that the 4 of those ever played. 1978 Cal Jam 2.
Wow. Well, it's a good performance. Let me find it.
Did they play Snakeskin Cowboys?
And I believe it's on this record.
Okay.
A live version of California Jam 2.
Nice.
Let's see. Santana, he sucks. Hart, Aerosmith, Frank Marino's on here. Wait. Oh, this one doesn't have Ted Nugent. He didn't play Cal Jam 2. Oh, yeah, he did. Look, he's right there.
Yeah, 78. That's 78, right?
Um, yeah, it is. But
Yeah, that's the last show they ever played.
That's wild because I don't see Ted Nugent. Oh, it doesn't seem like all the songs are written in the back, which is odd. So I'm gonna have to look at the actual vinyl because I'm pretty sure Snakeskin Cowboys on it.
Okay.
Santana, Dave Mason. Yeah, you see, Dave Mason wasn't on back cover. Here, Hart. All right, Ted Nugent, Free for All, Snakeskin Cowboy. That's what's on here.
Nice.
Free for All and Snakeskin Cowboy. Those are the 2 Ted Nugent tunes on here. But it's a great this is the first version I heard. Then I bought the first album. Yeah, there you go.
Nice. So what do you think of the song?
What song? Oh, Snakeskin Cowboy. Fucking rules. I love the song.
Did you know it was about figs?
No, I didn't. I had no idea. And that's weird that I didn't catch on since I am a fag. I should have.
But it.
You know.
Hold on. This is funny though. If you here we go. Hold on. Where do I have it? Oh, snakeskin cowboys, who the hell you think you are? You're dancing around in your high-heeled boots. Don't think you should get you far. Just hanging around with your fancy pants on. Ain't got nothing on me. Thinking you got it right here on stage. Stick around, boys. Maybe I can set you free. Kiss sucks. And then he says, snakeskin cowboys.
Yeah.
There you go.
Great song, man. Great that riff.
Down, 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 down. And that's my favorite part. Is that I like that down, 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 but then it goes down, down. Woo!
Awesome. And then after that, what do we got here? The only song Ted Nugent sings on here, the insane Motor City Madhouse. Oh my God, the screaming. I love Ted's voice. It's rough and crazy, you know? It's just a shame he didn't do drugs. Can you imagine how much better he would have been on drugs? But
Much better.
my God, I'm gonna live tonight. The guitar attack on this song, and of course those drumming and the bass and ripping. Probably my second favorite off the album, Motor City Madhouse. Better version on Double Live Gonzo, but still rips on this.
All right. Motor City Madhouse. Another one. Um, I go back and forth on. Um, the original version I heard, I believe, was on Great Gonzo's. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. It was just one of those like I liked everything but the chorus when it was like Madhouse, Motor City Madhouse. It didn't resonate with me at first. I was just like, I like the riff, but I'm not catching it. What sealed the deal for me was Double Live Gonzo. When I heard the live, the 10-minute live version that closes out Double Live Gonzo, then I was like, now I get it. Okay. Now it's awesome. And I listen to it now and it's kind of funny. It's one of those like, what was I missing at first? I don't know, but it did. It took the live version for me for this to click. And a lot of times, especially when I was younger, I would always gravitate towards studio versions more than live versions. But by the time, I got this, we're talking mid 90s, which is so funny because this shit comes out in the fucking mid to late 70s. I mean, the studio version came out in 75, live version in 78. But I'm not getting into it till, 93, between 93 and 95 probably. But man, when I heard the live version, it all fucking clicked. I love it now. Still wouldn't be one of my favorite ones on the album. Definitely not the worst. That shit's coming up. But I dig it. Then we'll go into the next song. Then I gotta pee again. Where Have You Been All My Life? Holy shit. Do I love this song. Now, this is the epitome of an album track. You'll never see this on a fucking greatest hits. It's not on a box set. And in fact, let me look here. This is one of the ones that was played live. Let's see here. Was first played October 30th, 1975 at the in Austin, Texas at the Aramado World Headquarters. Last played 1988 in La Ponce, Indiana. So this is like the least come back to song on the album. But I still love this one. To me, this is a classic album track. It's one of those, it's the glue that holds everything together. Might not be the standout. There might be other songs on this album that kind of do the same thing and do it better. But if you're listening to this from start to finish, this is one of those songs you got to hear. I absolutely love it. What do you think, Ralph? Tell the good audience while I go pee-pee.
All right. It's a good time song. Nothing offensive about it. There's better stuff on here, but I would put that above Hey Baby. I just think it's a feel good time, hard rockin' tune that I think kicks much ass. All right, what comes after that? You Make Me Feel Right at Home. Now, this one, I would put down, this will be like, Hey Baby at the bottom, then this one. And this one ain't bad. It's chill, though. It's a very mellow, chill tune. I don't think it's horrible, but it's my second least favorite. I predict Ian's going to hate this song. I don't know. It's just a prediction I have. Because I kind of know Ian well. So I'm going to gloat now how I'm right. How he doesn't like this song. watch when he comes back. I know him well. Oh my God, Ian, yeah, life sucks. You're my hero. Oh man. Ian says the most irrational shit and people love it. Which is cool. That's why I do this show with this guy. But anyway, Ian, I I already talked about You Make Me Feel Right at Home. Well, what do you think of this song? By the way, I don't know. Say it now, Ian. I don't know what you think about this song, do I?
No.
All right. What do you think about this song?
This song sucks.
Hey, wait! I called it. While you were away, I go, I predict Ian's going to dislike this song.
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah. I know you well, bro.
Yeah. This song sucks, and this is the only song on the album that was never played live. The only one sung by the drummer, Clive or Cliff Davis, whatever the fuck his name is. How did this make the fucking album? I mean, really. It sounds like a demo. It sounds like a track like you're working through. Because it keeps repeating shit like, oh, there's not enough, chorus here. There's not enough that. I don't hate it. Like ooh, it sounds like something off The Elder. No, it's not that bad, but it's not fully formed. It's like, I don't know. There's so much better shit on this fucking album. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, how does this make it? I'm even so bored talking about the song. I gotta change the fucking. Let's see. Let's find another Ted Nugent picture here. There we go.
That picture got to do with Ted Nugent.
That's Ted, the talking dog. It was a joke. I mean, talking dog, talking teddy bear. There we go. There's Ted Nugent. Yeah, this song it fucking sucks, dude. It's not good. It's this like when you said it was all killer, no filler. This is why I'm like, really, because this isn't just filler. This is like Phyllis Diller. This is fucking.
I did say I put it down there with Hey Baby. It's my least favorite song here. But I did.
Yeah, but this shit makes Hey Baby sound like fucking Cashmere.
I like this more than Hey Baby.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's a mind blower there. Holy shit. All right. Yeah, not a good song. All right, I'll take the next one. Queen of the Forest. Sorry. Might be a hot take, but not a big fan of this one.
Oh, really?
I don't think it's terrible, but a horrible way to end this album. I think there's like so many other songs that would have been a better, like, leave you wanting more. I always talk.
Like I said.
What's that?
Like I said, Stranglehold should have ended this album.
Oh yeah, that would have been phenomenal. Even Snakeskin Cowboys. I mean, anything. I don't think it's a bad song. I just think it's a bad last track. Interesting fact about this song is this was featured in, I think it was the first episode of WKRP in Cincinnati, where they switch over, they change formats at the station. It goes from being jazz, like soft rock to rock and roll. And Johnny Fever, is the DJ. And if you pay close attention, he's got, it's typical DJ shit. There's two turntables. He's got the song he's supposed to play on one turntable, and then he's got what he's going to play on the other. But if you look on the other, the one he puts down is a Casablanca record. So you think it's going to be some Kiss or some shit like that. And he goes over to the other record, which is, if you know your shit and you know your record labels, is a CBS one. And he slams the needle across that, and then he goes to put the needle on the Casablanca record, but it's Queen of the Forest is what he actually plays, is like supposed to be the first song when WKRP becomes WKRP and he becomes Johnny Fever. He changes the whole way he talks and all this shit. So it's a pretty cool, like, backstory to this song, which I find much more interesting than the actual song itself. Um, but even this one has been played recently by Ted, which I'm surprised because I would much rather hear. Goddamn, now I got to go back because I'm drunk. Yeah, I'd much rather hear "Where Have You Been All My Life" than "Queen of the Forest." But "Queen of the Forest" was played, very recently. Um, Again, not a bad song, but not the way to end this album. Um, I love the sound of this album. The one who doesn't is Derek St. Holmes. Derek St. Holmes joins a long line of people in bands produced by Tom Warman that does not love his production. He said Tom Warman totally neutered the band. They didn't sound as good as they sounded live. And we've heard that from Cheap Trick to fucking Twisted Sister to, Motley Crue. All these bands who bitch about all these platinum albums they have that were produced by Tom Warman. And
and,
they're like, oh, he fucked it up,
and studio albums that sound amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the production on Dream Police is fucking breathtaking. The strings and shit that
Oh,
Tom.
yeah.
I mean, you cannot better that.
I would say if I had to pick one, Dream Police is the best produced album Tom Werman ever did, as far as production value.
I agree.
If you listen to all the bells and whistles on that album and the way it flows and the way it has balls, yet it has musicality and yeah, like you said, with voices, but it has the heaviness of the house is rocking with domestic problems and shit like that, and the title track. It's great. And then you have all these bands like, oh fuck Tom Warman, we're gonna do our version of that record, and it never sounds anywhere near as good. But again, these are bands, they always do this shit like a midlife crisis record. Like, 30 years after it came out. No, we know better than Tom Warman. The fuck you do. But I will say this. There might be a little substance to that because as much as I love this album, and I think this album sounds fantastic, there are songs on this album that I didn't like until I heard the Double Live Gonzo version. But then again, was still produced by Tom Werman. So what what are you gonna do? But there are ones like yeah, when I heard the live version, it got me a lot more. And another band like that, Judas Priest. When I got into Judas Priest, I listened to the '70s stuff, and I didn't get it until I heard Unleashed in the East. And then those songs came alive for me. And now I still like the studio versions on those songs. But it took the live versions to kick it into gear, to where it all made sense for me. So, whatever. But no, I love this album. And Ralph, I don't know, do you have the remastered version on CD with the bonus tracks?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, there's 4 bonus tracks. 3 of them are live versions from this album, Stormtrooping, Just What the Doctor Ordered, Motor City Madhouse. I believe all 3 of those were from 1979. There was an album that was released in the late 90s. What was it? Yeah, Live at the Hammersmith, 1979. That's from the Weekend Warriors tour. I believe it's all taken from that. But there is an outtake called Magic Party that was recorded for this album.
That's on this, isn't it?
Is Magic Party on Out of Control?
It is. It's on here.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, and it says right here, previously released because this came out obviously before.
Oh, yeah, way before.
Yeah, I remember not liking that one.
Yeah, it's some like hippy dippy bullshit. I believe it was it was more of a Derek St. Holmes song than it was a. Wow, man, you're taking me back. I remember that because remember that you get the long books, you know. Yep, I've got. I mean, I'm in my garage. Right, it looks like Ted Nugent's right behind me, but I'm actually in my garage. I've got it, in a fucking, Tupperware bin back here. But that was a big deal when I had that shit, man. That was in my fucking 77 Grand Prix with my Alpine fucking pull-out CD player with my EQ and the shit all lit up green back in the day when that shit mattered. God damn it. Uh, but no, I love, and it's so funny uh, that we've only done, because I had to look up, I'm like, did we not do this album? We've only done two Ted Nugent reviews, this one and Weekend Warriors. And both of them were from me, the liberal guy, that won't shoot deer, but I'll eat the fuck out of it, you know? But I love Ted Nugent. I don't give a fuck. 70s, 1960 whatever to fucking 1981 Ted Nugent. No wrong in my book.
Yeah.
That's some good fucking shit. You know?
Well, that's it.
All right. Well, let's see what notes we got here. So this one was released September 1975, produced by Tom Werman and Lou Futterman. Boy, does that not sound Jewish. Hi, my name is Lou Futterman. I'm going to do your taxes.
Hey, I don't think Ted Nugent's ever said anything bad about Tom Werman.
Yeah, no, I think he liked it. It was Derek that had the big problem with him. Lou Futterman, he was a manager, producer from, I think, Clive Davies' band before he joined Ted Nugent. He was in a band called If, and he was their manager. So he co-produced this with Tom Werman. But this album went double platinum. That makes me happy, though. There's so many fucking great fucking metal and hard rock albums that never achieve this. And Ted Nugent went fucking platinum or gold with everything up until the early 80s. Good fucking shit. And he was a huge concert draw. Kind of like how and he had more concert sales than record sales. Kind of like Blue Oyster Cult, It's like Blue Oyster Cult only had so many charting albums, but they were such a big concert draw. People today might not realize how that could be a thing, but that's how it was back then, Especially bands like this that didn't necessarily have hit singles. Like, ooh, this single went to #1 on the charts. No, but the album sold well. And every time this band came to town, people went, and that's how Ted Nugent was. And, just fucking great shit, man.
Hell yeah.
Love me some Ted Nugent. All right, well, that's our review. And now we go into pick of the week. Ralph, you got one or you want me to go first?
Go first. I'm going to pick a random album.
All right, go ahead. Middle left.
Over here on the left, right here?
Yeah, but farther back. Farther back. There, right there. Right. That's the sweet spot. That's it. Right there. Ooh, that feels good, don't it?
Yeah.
What you got there?
I would put this.
Woo!
I would put this in my top 10 greatest albums of all time.
A coup d'etat.
This is seriously. And I'll tell you how I got into this was when I saw, oh my God, Kiss on the Creature of the Night tour. Now, I knew of the Plasmatics. I think I seen them on Fridays, that show. I knew that was a punk band, never really cared. They came out with this album and they played like The Damned. I remember them playing Mistress of Taboo. And after that show, I remember the show was on a Sunday. And I remember vividly the Wednesday after that show, I found this at Specs. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna take a chance because I like the songs I heard. Every song on here is a fucking winner. An amazing cover to No Class by Motorhead. This
Yeah.
right here is the shit. I would
And
bet
I would
top 10. Top 10 album of all time for me.
and I would say that's the one like if you're not familiar with the Plasmatics or Windy O, and you're looking for a place to start, go there first.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely go to Coupe de Top first. I
Yeah, yeah,
I love now the early shit.
yeah.
Black Leather Monster, Master Plan, Pig is a Pig, Sex, what is it? Something Sex Addict or freaking, I forgot. Look,
Hagar's a faggot.
that, nah, yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah,
The best part of that song is the lyrics though.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, there's a song, God damn it, Sex, I forgot, but it's
I
amazing.
know what you're talking about, but I can't remember it either.
Uh, so
It's on the original EP.
it's on. I have to fucking look at it now because it's bothering me.
I'm gonna look it up too.
Text.
Isn't it on the original EP?
No, they don't have an EP.
No, the '77 one.
Um, no, that's not an EP. And that's a full length.
Oh, is it?
I'm looking for it though. The Police. All right, this one. Beyond the Valley. This is the second album actually.
No,
Um,
Meet the Plasmatics. Oh
Sex.
no, it's not that one.
No album called Meet the Plasmatic. Sex Junkie. That's the song. Fucking amazing, man. Some great shit, man. I love the early.
Yeah, that's
I love it all.
yeah,
But Coupe de Tot is when they went heavy metal. You know,
yeah,
it wasn't a punk.
yeah, yeah. Beyond the Valley '84. Yeah, okay. But no, I think that's one. I think that's an excellent recommendation because you really get what it's all about, and from there on out, like if you get that one, you can dig the early Plasmatics, and I think you can dig like the Windy O solo shit too.
This is really good too. This is the Coupe de Tot demos. It's called Coupe de Grace. And it's the demos, and some of the songs, like Mr. Taboo, is different, but really cool, and it has every song on it.
I don't have that one.
Yeah,
I gotta get that.
yeah, this is amazing, amazing stuff. And
I've got Meet the Plasmatics, New Hope for the Wretched,
yeah, that's the first.
Beyond the Valley of '84, and Coup d'etat.
Metal Priestess is a great one. That's the EP. It comes with this, and it came with this too, which is fucking awesome. A poster. Hell yeah, right there.
Nice.
You know, I got a meme that it's that picture, but on the top it says Wendy's, like the Wendy's hamburger place.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the Plasmatics. What an amazing fucking Wendy O. Williams had more balls than any guy I know. You know, Wendy O. Williams, Playboy went to her and they said, we want to take pictures of you, you know, naked. She says, the only way you're ever going to take pictures of me naked is me on the wing of a plane flying. And I'll get naked if you strap me to a wing of a plane. That's ballsy, man. That bitch. She wrestled alligators, you know?
And she also took in animal rescue. She was a very big animal activist.
Yep. Yeah. And there's video of her crashing her car in the river and jumping out of the car before it explodes.
Yeah. She's more of a man than Ted Nugent could ever be.
More than any of us could ever be, man. That woman was, oh, I'm so glad I got to see her at least once because I'm a huge one. Every album she's done. I'll show you, man. Show you what a fan I am. I even got this fucking album. This album is weird.
Oh, Worms
Maggots.
or Maggots? Yeah, Maggots.
Maggots the record, which is the Plasmatics, but nobody in the Plasmatics is on this.
Right.
It's
Is
their
it John Bouvier on that one?
no. He's on Coupe de Top. But this album, it's got some good songs, but there's too much talking in between tracks. Really ruins the flow of it. But I love it
Yeah.
a bunch, and I love a couple tracks. I own everything, and I even have bootlegs of fucking Wendy O right here. This is a good one. This features Lemmy from Motorhead comes out on stage and they do Jailbait from the Motorhead song. Uh,
Right.
you see in the back Lemmy and Wendy O. Yeah, I got a bunch of great stuff. This is the first album.
Let's
Fuck,
see. I'm looking at what I got. I've got Wow, Commander of Chaos, Maggots the record, and the Fest and the Baddest.
that's like a rap album. It's terrible. With
Yeah.
the here's
And
the
then I got Fuck You and Loving It too.
I got that as well. This album's awesome. This is the EP the Plasmatics put out later called Metal Priestess. Great,
Yeah.
Black Leather Monster, Doom Song. Oh my God, I can go on and on about the lovely, talented Wendy O. Williams. But there you go. That's my Wendy O collection, man. I got a lot of Wendy. I'm missing one. That fuck you thing you said. I know I have that as well, but
All right. Well, you showed a lot, and it works out because I have a lot for a pick of the week. I know yours like pick one, motherfucker, because I don't want to tag all this other shit. But I had to pick three for this week. My first one that I'd recommend would be Double Live Gonzo. For those of you who may love this album, but you may get a lot more if you got Double Live Gonzo. Uh, One of the greatest live albums of all time, even though it's one of the ones that I tend not to like because I'm more of a fan where the live album is like a concert. Double Live Gonzo was recorded like four different venues. But then again, I'm like Ralph. A lot of my favorite live albums have. I'll be right up in a second, sweetheart. All right.
She's wanted you.
Okay. I'll be right up there.
Okay.
Love you. Oh, I had my granddaughter right there. Anyway, Double Live Gonzo, yeah, fucking great shit. But I love fake live albums too. But something I would like people to look up, I would check it out. I tried to get like a download version of it and I couldn't, but you can find it on YouTube. Is Saint Paradise. Are you familiar with Saint Paradise, Ralph?
no.
Okay. Saint Paradise was a band that Derek St. Holmes and Rob Grange formed after they left Ted Nugent. They left Ted Nugent after the Cat Scratch Fever tour. And they started their own band. And there's footage you can go on YouTube and see them at like Day of the Green 1979, St. Paradise. It's not as heavy as Ted Nugent. It's like if you mix Ted Nugent and Journey, but it's still pretty good. I mean, and Derek St. Holmes' voice is fucking amazing. But check out St. Paradise. They did re-release it on CD. I forget what label it was. I don't know if it was Frontiers, but it was like one of those kind of labels. And then my last pick of the week would be, if you want something heavier than that, the great Whitford St. Holmes album from 1982. Which, Ralph, you got that on vinyl? I see you looking.
I do. I sure do. Ah. I saw them live.
Really? Original or when they did the reunion?
Original.
Oh, nice.
He opened for Blue Icicle and Foghat.
Nice. Oh, there you go. Great album, and that's one I had no idea about till I got the Aerosmith box set that looks much like the Ted Nugent one. What's that?
Sharpshooter.
Yeah, Sharpshooter was on that box set. What a fucking song! Holy shit!
All album rips, man.
Yeah, no, it's good, but check it out, man. So there you go. There's my 3 picks of the week, and Ralph had multiple Wendy O. Williams picks of the week.
And Whitford St. Holmes.
Yeah, Whitford St. Holmes. And before I got my granddaughter tonight, so I got to go play Grandpa and watch Willy Wonka.
Right.
But before that, we got to go into Fan of the Week. And Fan of the Week, I don't know what to call him because he sent me a text. He says, hey, can you please change my name on these episodes? We're talking about Edwin Canestracci. Because this guy, he has like a legit, business going with writing and everything. And I keep fucking with him, because I'm the liberal fuck. I'm like, you woke fuck, you can't be, listed on our, politically incorrect podcast. You fuck. So I had to change it to Eddie Canestracci, and he even spells it Eddy. Like, who spells Eddie like that? That's how ashamed he is of being on our podcast, and he doesn't want it associated with him. But I get that, and it got me thinking, me and Ralph need to change our names so we're not associated with Freeform Rock Podcast.
Well, here's the thing, Ian. Edwin will probably get upset with you for what you just said. So I'm going to take the heat off you for a second, all right?
Yeah.
Everybody out there, get a paper and pen. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? All right, write this down.
Okay.
475 dash 13 dash 2073. That is
okay.
That is Edwin's social security number. So use it and do something. There you go. Now he won't be mad with you anymore.
All right. Fuck him. God, Eddie, Edwin, Eduardo, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. We love you, brother. We're so proud of you.
I love him. And he's always sharing our episodes. Always.
Oh, yeah. No, and I get it, though. We're very, I've told no one at work. I've told no one, because I work for the government now. I've told no one about my podcast. When I went to fucking Rockin' Pod, people are asking me, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to Nashville. They're like, what are you doing in Nashville? I'm like, I'm meeting up with some dudes. I'm like, some friends of mine. I won't say shit because all the shit we talk about in here, I could get in trouble where I work, for the fucking U.S. government. I don't care who's president. I get in trouble for, talking about, all you fags and fucking homos and fucking, all the bullshit, Hagar, fucking pickle whistler, retards and shit, and fuck you. But yeah, I keep the show secret. My last job, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, yeah, hey, I got a podcast. Check it out. And now I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Fuck him. And I gave Edwin a lot of shit. I was like, because he sent me a text. He goes, hey, can you change my name on the spaghetti incident episode and on the Razor's Edge episode? And I'm like, oh, you woke motherfucker. Okay, yeah, I'll change it. And I did because I love him, and I don't want anybody to get in trouble for being on our show and listening to it. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in these days where you could get in trouble or it could affect your career. So, but luckily,
It doesn't matter. He's fucked. I gave out the social security number. He's
Yeah,
fucked.
fuck him.
He's fucked. Now everybody's gonna scam his ass. I'm such a prick, but I did it to take the heat off of you, Ian.
That's right. So come back next week when we talk about how Eddie Canistracci's family conspired to kill the Jews
Oh man,
on on the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
that still ain't gonna do the trick. Social Security is a bitch.
Oy vey.
Smack him a gob.